Hastings Johnson Imperial Homes, and Hastings Runza. From the first pitch of the regular season to the intensity of the postseason, we've got it all covered. Every game, every inning, every highlight. Don't miss a single thing this summer. American Legion Baseball lives right here on Extreme Sports. You're listening to Extreme Sports, your exclusive home for Hastings College sports. Now it's time for Hastings College baseball. From first pitch to the final out, Extreme Sports is proud to bring you every inning, every hit, and every big moment of Broncos baseball all season long. And now, let's go to the field for today's game.
And hi again, everybody. Welcome to Hastings College Baseball for you here today on Extreme Sports. It's coffee and donuts here today, getting an early start. Final regular season game of the 2026 season here. A doubleheader as the Broncos get ready to take on the Concordia Bulldogs and trying to hang on to the 8th and final spot in the Great Plains Athletic Conference regular season standings. That will propel us into the postseason tournament next week. But Hastings has some business to take care of here today, facing the Concordia Bulldogs, one of the teams that's on top of the conference. Concordia currently sitting at 21-5 in the conference play. They're 33-14 on the season. They're currently in second place in the conference behind Doane. Hastings right now hanging out in 8th place in the final transfer spots. The Broncos are sitting at 21-23 overall, 9-17 in the conference. Hastings coming off of a so-so week when we got swept by Doane last weekend, and then splitting a couple of games with Dordt during the week. We went to Sioux Center and beat the Defenders in the first game the other day by a score of 21-12. And then lost to Dordt in the second ball game by the score of 13-3. Meanwhile, the Concordia Bulldogs, they come in again 33-14 in the season, 21-5 in the conference. They have won their last 4 games in a row as they have beaten Dakota Wesleyan 11-7 and 12-6, and they have beaten Morningside 6-4 and 6-0. Weather definitely going to be a factor today. We have moved up the starting time. There's a doubleheader a couple of hours to avoid the anticipated inclement weather for this afternoon. It is sprinkled throughout the morning, but we're set to go for a game number 1 here today. Concordia and Hastings had a chance to sit down with Hastings head coach Victor Rojas.
Spent a couple of months with Hastings head coach Victor Rojas as Hastings College and Concordia here this afternoon. Coach, any special message for the guys heading into the final weekend series?
No real special message other than, we've kind of painted ourselves into a corner and you got to take care of your business. And that's pretty much it. I mean, they're very cognizant of what's going on and what we need to do. And, we'll see how the game unfolds.
Really just got to go out and win and let everybody else take care of themselves and hopefully have enough to get into the conference tournament next week.
Yeah, it would have been nice if we'd done that a couple weeks ago and not been stressed out for the last weekend and can play a bunch of seniors today, but that's not the case. And so we'll be all right. We'll see what happens. And like you said, if we don't take care of our business, then you got to hope and pray other guys help you out.
What about the play in the last week? Obviously, last weekend series with Doane was kind of disappointing for you. You go on the road and split 2 with Dordt. What about the play in the last week?
The Doane series, if you break it down, 6 innings, 7 innings, 6 innings, and 7 innings, like we were outscored by them by 1 run. But when you add in that last inning of each of those games, of the first 3 games, it's when you see the discrepancy in why we ended up losing 4 games. And we put ourselves in a position to win games. It was 9-9 in the first game. It was 3-3 or whatever it was in the second game. 2-2 in the third game, and then the last game was just a great game. It was a 4-3 loss. Marcus Miller pitched his ass off. So, that's the thing about this team. We've talked about it all season long, is like we continuously beat ourselves. There has not been a team through 44 games this year that have just come in and manhandled us. And if they did, we'd tip our caps to them, because that's just the game of baseball. And so that's been the most frustrating part. You go up to Dort, and no disrespect to Dort, I mean, that should have been 2 wins. But you go back to the previous weekend when you lose 3 of 4 to Waldorf, that's inexcusable. But we've been doing that all season long. Well, the second half of the season. And that's the shame of it all, is like, and you look back and you're like, man, we're at 21 wins on the season. We probably should be at 27, 28, maybe 29, with like 11 or 12 wins in conference and no stress whatsoever. But it's year one, and there's some learning curves, and we're learning a lot about our players when it comes to crunch time.
Finishing games, can you put a finger on the problem?
Guys not able to throw strikes, and then the defense not helping out. We're a pitch to contact team. We don't, maybe with the exception of Ryder Derwin, who can come in and close the game out. From a velocity standpoint, we're a pitch to contact team, and if you're putting the ball in play, you got to catch the ball, and that's something that it's kind of gone hand in hand, unfortunately, in those last couple of innings, the last couple of weeks. That's a bad time to do it. If you're going to do that stuff, you got to do it early in the game so you can make have your offense give an opportunity to score some runs. We know we can score with any team in this league. A deficit, we just sneeze at deficits, because we know we can do it. But when you're continuously asking your offense to pick you up 2, 3, 4 times in a game, that's really hard to do.
Evan Morrison continues to bang the ball all over the place. Talk about him lately.
He's a special player. He kind of tweaked his hamstring on the game-tying triple against Doane in Game 2. And so we kept him out of the Dort series. He'll be back in the lineup today as a DH. But he's just a fun player to watch. I'm thrilled that he decided to come here and help build something. I haven't looked at the overall numbers, but I would assume he would be up for GPAC Player of the Year. There's no question he's a first team GPAC. Same with Peyton Vargas behind a play. Same with Samuel Bruno in left field. Those 3 guys have just been really special. And then we've had some role players that had ups and downs, but Evan's the guy in the lineup.
Concordia today, obviously, one of the teams at the top of the conference. What do you know about these guys?
They can pitch it. From an offensive perspective, they're an all right team. I think they're hitting 283 as a team collectively, but their strong suit this year is pitching. Conversely, just like Doane's strong suit is their offense. 1 through 9, that's a battle, right? But having just seen Doane last week, I think it's a good reference point for us, because it's very similar pitching staffs. Guys that have good velo, upper eights, can move the ball around. And so, like I said, I'm not overly concerned about our offense. Typically, good pitching stops good hitting, But, we'll have our hands full, but we know we just got to go take care of our own business and not worry about we play our game. We don't worry about the opposition. We play our game, we worry about our team, and that's all we can do.
What's our pitching plans today?
Well, Cam Dahlgren, the freshman, will go in Game 1, and then Marcus Miller will go in Game 2. That's kind of been a good, second half of a 4-game series combo. Cam's really thrown the ball well, just coming into his own. I can't wait till next year. He's going to spend the summer with me here at the Sodbusters, and man, when he gains some weight and some strength, that's just going to be exceptional for him. He's learned a lot as a freshman. And, his sophomore year is going to be really fun to watch. And then Marcus, obviously, is Marcus. He was dazzling last week against Doane. And, again, that was just a great game, a 4-3 loss. And, you hope he does the exact same thing today.
What about your role with the Sodbusters, Coach? That's coming up. How many of these guys are going to be playing for you this summer?
I think there are 5 or 6 total. And that includes freshmen that are coming in August. So I know there's 2 pitchers and 1 catcher that are incoming freshmen. So I'm probably more like 6, 7 total. A couple of outfielders, a couple of arms. A couple guys are staying but not playing for the Sodbusters, but just working out. But yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be nice to, it'll be my first foray into collegiate summer league, but I will be a lot more relaxed in summer ball than I am during, Hastings College baseball. It's just a different animal.
All right, good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Victor Rojas, head coach for Hastings College. We'll have more after this. You're listening to Bronco Baseball.
If you experience air conditioning problems this summer, call the experts at Ruts Heating and Air Conditioning of Hastings. Ruts is a local, family-owned business with over 45 years of experience in the HVAC industry. They service all makes and models of heating and cooling equipment for both residential and commercial customers. You can trust Ruts Heating and Air Conditioning to complete all repairs, installations, and maintenance work on time. If you're shopping for a new air conditioner or heating system, remember Ruts Heating and Air Conditioning. They have a broad range of systems to choose from. Ruts Heating and Air Conditioning. Call 402-463-4853.
Looking to make prom night unforgettable? Complete your look with fresh, stylish corsages and boutonnieres designed to match your outfit and stand out on the dance floor. From classic elegance to bold, colorful styles, we've got the perfect finishing touch for your big night. Handcrafted, fresh, and made just for you, because every detail matters. Stop by or order online at bobsassflowers.com and get prom ready in style. Serving Hastings since 1955.
All right, the playing of the national anthem as we get set for baseball here today on Extreme Sports. It's Concordia and Hastings going today. A couple of ball games to wrap up the 2026 regular season. Again, the Broncos are trying to win a couple of today to try to maintain that number 8 spot in the Great Plains Athletic Conference standings and hopefully play in the postseason tournament next week. We'll get you the starting lineups here today. They are brought to you by B&B Cleaning Pros of Hastings, your trusted cleaning experts for homes and businesses. Hastings will go this way here today. Jared Delgado will lead off with the Broncos. He'll be at second base. His batting average on the season is sitting at .306. Evan Morrison, the DH, will bat second. His average at .387. That is tops on the team. Samuel Bruno will be your left fielder. He'll bat third. His average at .377. Peyton Vargas will be the catcher. He'll bat fourth. His average is at .330. Tristan Martinez will be in center field. He'll bat fifth. His average is at .358. Joshua Magnahay will be your first baseman. His batting average at .345. He'll be in a number 6 hole here today. Levi Fletcher will play third base. His batting average is at .338. He'll bat seventh. Batting eighth will be your right fielder, Chris Faraday. His batting average at .286 on the season. Jace Valdez will be your shortstop. He'll bat ninth. His average is at .283. Cameron Dahlgren will be the pitcher for Hastings. He's got a record of 4 wins, 2 losses on the year. His ERA is sitting at 4.96. We are underway. This is Jaden Jordahl coming to the plate here for Concordia. He's a second baseman. His batting average at .288 on the season. First pitch by Dahlgren is going to be outside for a ball. The second one is in there for a strike. Bronx Lewis will bat second. He'll be your right fielder. His batting average is sitting at .312 on the season. Jack Watson, the catcher, batting third. Luke Wilson will be the left fielder. He will bat fourth today. Andrew Fetty, the DH, batting fifth. Carson Burnett, the first baseman, batting 6th. Jimmy Blumberg will be the third baseman. He'll bat in the number 7 spot. Jake Tyler, the shortstop, batting 8th. And Leighton Rivas, the center fielder, will bat 9th. So that's your starting lineup for the Concordia Bulldogs. The count here to the number 1 man in the batting order. Jaden Jordahl is sitting at 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's a ball that's hit high in the air out toward the outfield. Martinez, the center fielder, will center under it and make the catch. Jordahl will fly out to Martinez to begin the ball game, and now Bronx Lewis will come to the plate next. This first game will be a 7-inning affair here today. It'll be a 9-inning game for the season finale in game number 2. Temperature here at game time is sitting at 54 degrees. Mostly cloudy skies with winds out of the east at 10 miles per hour, and definitely a threat of some scattered showers and the thunderstorms throughout the day today. Hopefully we can avoid that long enough to get these 2 ball games in today. You're getting an early head start. It's a coffee and donuts today. These 2 ball games were originally set for 1 this afternoon. Moved them up a couple of hours to avoid the weather here today. Bronx Lewis is a left-handed hitter, and there's a big swing and a miss there. He falls behind at no balls and 2 strikes. Lewis with a batting average at .312 on the season. Dahlgren again is the pitcher here for Hastings, right-handed thrower. There's a pitch to the plate. It's going to be outside for a ball. And the count is sitting at 1 ball and 2 strikes just underway here. Hastings College baseball action for you on Extreme Sports. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 man out. Next pitch by Dahlgren is going to be inside. It misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dahlgren 4-2 on the season, 4.96 earned run average, making his 11th appearance of the season. This will be his 6th start. He's thrown 32 and 2/3 innings. There's a ball that's going to be hit by the second baseman into right center field. Delgado couldn't get there. Around the bag at first, and on his way to second base is going to be Lewis before the throw comes in. Lewis gets a double here for Concordia. That's going to bring up Jack Watson next, the catcher. We're talking about Cameron Dahlgren making his 6th appearance, actually his 11th appearance. This will be his 6th start. He's thrown 32 and 2/3 innings coming in here today, giving up 35 hits and 20 runs. 18 of those have been earned. 15 base on balls, 24 strikeouts. Team's hitting .280 against him. This is Jack Watson, the catcher at the plate. Very first pitch that he sees, he hits that ball hard out towards center field. Martinez grabs the ball. The runner's going to tag it to second base. Head first slide at third, and he's going to be in there. So Bronx Lewis advances from second to third. Watson gave that baby a ride to a deep left center field. It was caught out there by Martinez for the second out, but Concordia has moved the base runner along to third base here in this first inning. Concordia, a good hitting team. Their team batting average is sitting at .281 on the season. Here's Luke Wilson coming to the plate next. Wilson is a left fielder. He's got a batting average of .338 on the season. He's second on the team in the batting average. He hits that ball to a short. Going to be nabbed there. Throw over to first base is going to be in time. Good play there by Jace Valdez at shortstop. Grabs the ball, falls to his knees, gets back onto his feet, and throws it over to McNahay at first base to end the inning here for the Broncos defensively. So Wilson is going to ground out to the shortstop to end the first inning. Concordia moves a man around to scoring position, but they can't score. No runs, 1 base hit, no errors, and a runner left on base. Half an inning in the books here this morning at Duncan Field. The score, it's Concordia 0. Hastings coming to bat. You are listening to Bronco Baseball.
For all of your professional, residential, and commercial cleaning services, call the trusted experts at B&B Cleaning Pros of Hastings. They have been in business for over 4 years, delivering professional services 1 clean at a time. Reclaim your time and enjoy a healthier, fresher home with a call to B&B Cleaning Pros. Their meticulous cleaning professionals handle everything from routine upkeep to intensive deep cleans, tailored perfectly to your schedule and needs. They focus on kitchens, bathrooms, high traffic areas, dust removal, and floor care. Give them a call at 402-519-4602. Stop in at 123 North Lexington in Hastings or visit them at bnbcleaningpros.com.
Bored of the same old sports coverage? Get on the cutting edge of sports with Extreme Sports.
That ball hammered deep toward left into the well. That ball is gone!
The biggest plays, breaking news, and we can't forget the best sports talk.
Let's be great! Let's be great!
We are Extreme Sports.
Mike Well back at Duncan Field. Hastings College baseball for you here today on Extreme Sports. Also with the Hastings College streaming services here today on the GPAC network. Concordia and Hastings, no score after a half an inning. Caden Bogarski is going to be the pitcher for Concordia today. Caden is 5-2 on the season, 3.38 earned run average. This will be his 12th appearance of the season. This will be his 9th start. He's a right-handed thrower, and he's set to go as he fires under the plate. He's going to be outside for a ball. Bogarski has thrown 48 innings for Concordia this year, giving up 42 hits, 22 runs, 18 earned, 23 base on balls, and 60 strikeouts. Teams are hitting only .231 against him. As Victor talked about in the pregame show, their pitching staff is very, very good. Jared Delgado is the first guy to test out that pitching staff. He's ahead of the count here at 2-1 strike. Concordia has a staff ERA at 4.66. There's a strike delivered up there to Jared Delgado. Count even up now at 2 strikes. Delgado, Evan Morrison, Samuel Bruno, the first three guys that come to the plate here for the Broncos. Then we'll see Peyton Vargas, and one of those guys can reach base. Next pitch by Bogarski is going to be outside and down low for a ball. 3 strikes. Jared Delgado leading things off here for the Broncos, a right-handed hitter. Bogarski is a right-handed thrower. There's a hard hit ball out to center field, and camping under it, the center fielder for the Bulldogs, that's Rivas, and he makes the catch. Jared Delgado flies out to center field. There's Evan Morrison. Morrison, the DH in the ball game here today, kind of tweaked a hamstring in the ball game against Doane, the final game against the Tigers last weekend. Did not play against Dort during the weekday series this week, but he's back into the lineup today as a designated hitter. Bats from the left-hand side. Very first pitch that he fouls with. It's going to foul off of his right foot. Walks that baby off. Morrison, 387 is his batting average. He leads the team in about every major statistical category here. He's got 48 base hits and 124 trips to the plate, 48 runs scored. Morrison has got 8 doubles. He's got 4 triples this year. A school record 12 home runs, 43 RBIs, 38 walks, and 32 strikeouts. It's that ball. It's going to be off with the glove of the second baseman, and Morrison is going to get aboard here. Jaden Jordan was playing back on the edge of the outfield grass. That one ricochets off of his glove. Morrison is going to get aboard here. Samuel Bruno is going to come to the plate next. So Morrison is going to get aboard here for Hastings in the first inning. Samuel Bruno is going to come to the plate next. Give Morrison a base hit on that hit ball there, the second base. There's a Bruno up there next. He's going to foul away the first pitch here on the first base side, out of play. Bruno with a batting average of .377 on the season. Second on the team in batting average. 40 base hits and 106 trips to the plate for Samuel Bruno. He scored 27 runs. There's a bouncer, right side. Going to be fielded there by the pitcher. He comes over and tags out Bruno right over here on the foul line. So Bruno is retired in the play by the pitcher, who fields that ball right on the foul line. Just tags out to Bruno heading to first base. Morrison heads down to second on the play. But now there's 2 outs. Peyton Vargas coming to the plate next for the Broncos. He's got a .330 batting average on the season. Hastings has got a man on in scoring position at second base. That is Morrison. Here's the pitch to the plate. It's going to get by the catcher. He picks it up and throws it down to third base, and they've got him. Morrison is retired in the play at third base. The pitch was down low. It got away from the catcher, Jack Watson, just to his right. Morrison takes off. He slides into the bag at third base. But a ball right on the money there. Jack Watson, as he throws it down to Blumberg at third base to retire Morrison, trying to swipe the bag, and the inning is over here for the Broncos in the first. Hastings scores no runs on a base hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. 1 inning in the books here this afternoon. The score is Hastings nothing and Concordia nothing. You're listening to Bronco Baseball.
Looking for the perfect spot before or after the game? Head to Miscue's Sports Bar and Grill in Hastings. Choose from your favorite sandwich or build your own burger or chicken sandwich just the way you like it. Your choice of cheese, sauces, and all your favorite toppings. Craving wings? Choose from over 20 sauces and rubs that bring the flavor every time. Grab an appetizer, catch the game on the big screens, or challenge your friends to a game of pool or darts. There's always something to do. And don't forget the daily lunch specials. Miscue's Sports Bar and Grill, 316 South Elm. Great food, great games, and the perfect hangout in Hastings.
Highland Dairy is more than milk. We're more than ice cream and more than yogurt. More than just dairy. We're the communities we serve. We're our employees. We're sustainers of the environment and regulators of food safety. Our values are clear because they have to be. Without them, we can't bring you the dairy products you deserve. Highland, locally made, naturally delicious.
All right, we head to the second inning of play. No score between Hastings and Concordia today. This is Andrew Fetty at the plate here for Concordia to lead off the second. He's the DH for the Bulldogs. He's going to whack that ball out to the outfield. Out in left field, and making the catch out there is Samuel Bruno. Like Bruno was having a little problems with that baby, but he finally grabs the ball just as he falls to the turf out there. Out in the left field, so Andrew Fetty flies out to left field. Carson Burnett is coming up there next. And the winds not very strong yet. They're out of the east at about 10 miles per hour. But Bruno's having some problems locating that ball and finally came down with it just as he falls to the turf out there. So one man out here in the second inning. Carson Burnett, the first baseman, batting average of .295 on the season. For Burnett, he's a right-handed hitter. There's a big swing and a miss there. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Carson Burnett. Burnett has got 38 base hits and 129 trips to the plate so far this season. He has scored 30 runs. 9 doubles. He's got a triple. He's got 4 home runs. He whacks that ball down the line in left field. That's going to fall. Picked up out there by Bruno. Burnett is on his way to second base. He's going to have a stand-up double. So Carson Burnett, he's going to double down the left field line. And Concordia again moves a position in the scoring position. With only one man out here in the second inning. Jimmy Blumberg is going to come up there next. Blumberg is the third baseman. Batting average of .258 on the season for Jimmy. He's got 33 base hits and 128 trips to the plate. Blumberg has got 11 doubles, and he's got 5 home runs so far this year. This Concordia team has hit, 71 home runs so far this season. Pitch is going to be in there for a strike. No balls and 1 strike here to Jimmy Blumberg with a bat on. That's a second base for the Dogs here in inning number 2. There's a swing and a miss there. 0-2. Jake Tyler would be next. Blumberg has walked 11 times so far this year. He has struck out 29 times. No balls and 2 strikes here to Jimmy Blumberg. Here's Dahlgren's next pitch. That's going to be fouled away. First base side out of play. Concordia, a pretty good hitting team, but they've also struck out a lot this season. They played 47 ball games, and they have struck out 369 times so far this year. No balls and 2 strikes with 1 man out. Next pitch is going to be fouled away. Again, first base side. No balls and 2 strikes. Concordia with a chance to maybe win the Great Plains Athletic Conference this year, depending on what happens today. The Dogs currently in second place, and now the pitch by Dahlgren is going to hit him. Jimmy Blumberg is hit by a pitch. He is out of the bag at first. And that's going to bring up Jake Tyler next. Doan is playing at Morningside today. Hastings facing Concordia. Right now there's only 1 game difference between Doan and Concordia up there at the top of the standings in the Great Plains Athletic Conference. Meanwhile, Hastings down here in 8th place. We're fighting to stay alive for the postseason tournament next week. Only the top 8 teams will make it. We're kind of keeping an eyeball on Dakota Wesleyan today. They're the team right behind us. Just a game behind us, and Dakota Wesleyan is playing in Yankton this afternoon against the Lancers of Mount Marty. First things first, got to take care of business here against the Concordia. And the Dogs have runners on at first and second here in this second inning. Jake Tyler is at the plate. There's the ball hit to the left side field there by Valdez. It's short. His throw over to first base is going to be just in the nick of time. So the base runners move on to a second and third base. Tyler is thrown out from short to first. And now Leighton Rivas is going to come to the plate next. Leighton Rivas is the center fielder. And all of a sudden, we're going to have a new guy coming to the lineup. This is odd. Leighton Rivas, first time through the order, is going to be pinch hit for. Cade Vanis is going to come to the plate. Rivas had a batting average of .045. Vanis is at .304. And the pitch is going to be in there for a strike. So Cade Vanis is up to the plate here. Vanis has got 7 base hits and 23 trips to the plate, 15 runs scored, 1 home run. He's got 8 RBIs. So Concordia looking to break through here in this second inning. Runners are on at second and third base, but there's 2 men out. Pitch going to be inside here by Dahlgren. All they're going to say is hit the inside corner for a strike. 0-2 to Vargas. Vargas has walked 12 times so far this year. He has struck out 7 times, trying to give the Dogs the lead here in the second inning. Dahlgren fires one to the plate, a fastball, and it hits the inside corner for a strike, and it strikes him out. So Vanis goes down here in the second inning. Comes up in a pinch hit roll. They're trying to give the Dogs the lead. Concordia had runners on at second and third base. And the Dahlgren gets the job done here for the Broncos, striking out the Vanas here to end the second inning of play. So Concordia, they scored no runs. One base hit, no errors on Hastings. 2 runners left on base. We go to the bottom of the second inning with a score Concordia nothing and Hastings nothing. You're listening to Bronco Baseball.
The Great Plains Athletic Conference is committed to being champions in the classroom, in our communities, and in competition. And we are also proud to be an NAIA 5-star Champions of Character Conference. To learn more about the GPAC, follow us on social media on Instagram, X, and Facebook. And watch the GPAC on the GPAC Network. The Great Plains Athletic Conference, academic and athletic excellence since 2000.
This summer, baseball lives on Extreme Sports. Extreme Sports is your exclusive home for American Legion Baseball. Bringing you every big moment from Hastings 5 Points Bank, Hastings Johnson Imperial Homes, and Hastings Runza. From the first pitch of the regular season to the intensity of the postseason, we've got it all covered. Every game, every inning, every highlight. Don't miss a single thing this summer. American Legion Baseball lives right here on Extreme Sports.
Extreme Sports, the ultimate destination for sports enthusiasts.
This is the greatest record in the history of sports.
Broadcasting live 24/7.
Just have some fun out here, and enjoy the journey of all this of trying to get 16 wins and going after a gold trophy.
We give the people what they want.
And I am a huge sports fan. I love sports.
All right, back here at Duncan Field, we enter the bottom of the second inning. No score between Hastings and Concordia. The Dogs have threatened in each inning so far, but they still have the goose egg on the scoreboard. There's a Peyton Vargas coming to the plate here at the beginning of the Bronco half of the second inning. 4, 5, and 6 in the batting order here in the second. It'll be Vargas, Martinez, and Magnahay for Hastings College. There's a ball ripped down the third base line. It's going to be in foul territory. Peyton Vargas, a .330 batting average on the season here for Hastings this year. Vargas has got 34 base hits and 103 trips to the plate with 12 runs scored. Leads the team in doubles with 11. He's also got 6 home runs this year. 31 RBIs. Vargas with 17 walks, and he's got 24 strikeouts so far this season. 2 balls, 2 strikes. There's a ball hit to the right side. That's going to get through there for a base hit in the right field. Picked up out there by Bronx Lewis. So Vargas gets a single here for Hastings. That's going to be the second base hit of the ball game for the Broncos. There's a Tristan Martinez coming to the plate next for Hastings. Martinez is the center fielder. Martinez with a .358 batting average on the season. He's got 43 base hits so far this year, 43 base hits and 120 trips to the plate. Garski, the pitcher, comes set. There's a butt laid down in front of the plate here. Grabbed by the pitcher. His throw to first base is not going to be in time. Martinez beats out the throw down there to first base on a butt laid down out in front of the plate. The pitcher, Caden Bogarski, had to come out from the mound to grab it. Leisurely throws that ball to a first base, but good wheels there by Tristan Martinez. He's going to get aboard with an infield single. And now the Broncos have something going here in the second inning. Runners are on at first and second base, and nobody out. Ben Richter, by the way, is running now at his second base for catcher Peyton Vargas. There's an attempted bunt laid down. It's going to be popped up, and it's going to be caught here. Magnahay tries to lay down a bunt, and he pops it up. It's going to be grabbed by Burnett, your first baseman. So McNahee is going to pop out to the first baseman trying to lay down a bunt. Runner's going to stay at first and second base, but now there's one out. Levi Fletcher is going to come to the plate next. He is the third baseman, so McNahee unable to lay down the sacrifice bunt there. He pops it up. And it's caught there by the first baseman in Carson Burnett. Levi Fletcher coming to the plate next for Hastings. He's the third baseman. .338 batting average on the season for Fletcher. Now we're going to have a balk called. Runners are going to advance to second and third. So a balk is called on Caden Bogarski. Here's a pitch to the plate. It's going to be in there for a strike. 0-2 to Levi Fletcher. Fletcher with 25 base hits, 74 trips to the plate so far this year. Right-handed hitter. He's going to foul this one away on the first base side. Fletcher, for his extra base hits this year, he's got 4 doubles. He's got a couple of home runs, 9 RBIs. Hastings has hit 31 home runs so far this season. Next pitch is going to be down low for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One and two the count with 1 man out for the Broncos here in the second inning. Hastings threatening. They've got runners on at second and third base. There's the ball hit to the left side, grabbed by the third baseman. He's going to throw it over to first and get by the first baseman, Burnett. 1 run scores. The second one's going to come to the plate. On his way to third base is going to be Fletcher. He is going to slide in there. He's going to make it all the way around to a third base, and 2 runs come in to score for Hastings. So that's going to be an error on your third baseman, Jimmy Blumberg, as he throws it over to first base. It bounces to Burnett. Carson Burnett could not grab it over there at first base. 2 runs come in to score, and Fletcher comes all the way around to a third base on the play. And now Chris Faraday is going to come to the plate next, the right fielder. So Hastings has grabbed the early 2-0 lead here over Concordia. 1 man out. Pitch here to Chris is going to be up high for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Now the head man for Concordia is going to make his way out to the pitcher's mound to talk with his infield, talk with his thrower out there. Faraday with a .286 batting average for the Broncos. He's got 10 base hits and 35 trips to the plate, 13 runs scored. 2 doubles. He's got a triple. He's got 7 RBIs so far. 4 base on balls, 12 strikeouts. So a brief conference here. The count here at the plate is a 1 ball and no strikes, just underway. We're in the second inning. This is a 7-inning ball game. This first one, hopefully going to go 9 innings in game number 2 if we can dodge the weather here today. There's a pitch that's going to be in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Anticipating showers and thunderstorms, even possibility of some severe weather in the area later on today. Skies have definitely darkened since we got here earlier today. Had some rain on and off throughout the morning, but where all systems go, moved up starting time a couple of hours, and we're into the second inning now of game number 1. Chris Faraday is at the plate with a count of 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 man out. There's the ball. It's going to hit by the pitcher over his head into center field. That's going to score a run. Faraday drives home a run as a ball goes into center field for a base hit. Hastings on the top of this ball game now by a score of 3-0. There's Jace Valdez coming to the plate next. Valdez, the shortstop, batting average .283 on the season for Jace Valdez. Valdez with 30 base hits this year and 106 trips to the plate. Fastball delivered up there by Bogarski is going to be in there for a strike. No balls and 1 strike. Valdez for his extra base hits. He's got 6 doubles. He's driven home 16 runs. There's a swing and a miss. The runner's going to go from first base to throw down there. It's going to be in time. And the Broncos get their second out here in this second inning as Faraday is thrown out trying to steal second base. Now there's 2 men out, and the bases are empty for Jace Valdez. Here comes the 0-2 pitch, a fastball again that misses up high, 1-2. Valdez has got 7 walks so far this year. He has struck out 13 times. Down here in the number 9 hole, there's a ball hit down the line at third base, and it's going to be in foul territory. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. Final couple of games for Hastings College in the 2026 regular season today. Hastings currently in the postseason hunt, sitting in 8th place in the conference standings. See what happens today. Keeping eyeballs on the series between Dakota Wesleyan and Mount Marty. That one gets underway at 1 this afternoon. Hastings trying to hang on to this 8th spot. Mount Marty currently 1 game behind us in the conference standings. Or Dakota Wesleyan is 1 game behind us in the conference standings. Dakota Wesleyan is playing at Mount Marty today. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 men out for the Broncos here in the second inning as we roll the deuces. There's the ball that's going to be hit high in the air over here in foul territory, first base side, and the first baseman, Burnett, could not get there, could not make the play on the ball. It falls to the turf. 2-2 was the count. Hastings College softball team last night. They beat Mount Marty by scores of 5-2 and 10-8. Hastings now 8-14 in the season, 17-22 overall. And as of today, they're in 8th place in the conference standings, but big series going on between Midland and Doane today to determine the 8th and final spot in the softball postseason tournament that also gets underway next week. There's a 2-2 pitch. That's going to sail out wide for a ball. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 3-2 the count. Hastings with the early lead here, 3-0 over Concordia. Here comes a 3-2 pitch. Hit to the right side, grabbed by the second baseman on the hop. Quick throw over to first base is going to be in time. Valdez with a head first slide down there at first base, trying to beat out the throw, but he's thrown out. Jace Valdez is retired, and the Broncos are retired here in inning number 2. Hastings comes up with 3 runs, though. 3 runs on 3 hits and an error. Nobody left on base. 2 innings in the books here today at Duncan Field. Hastings 3, Concordia nothing. You're listening to Bronco Baseball.
What is Mammoth? Excellent question. Mammoth is everything you need it to be. On paper, Mammoth is a modern master build firm dedicated to building the places where passion and community collide. We consult, create, and construct projects of every size. We are makers, movers, machine operators, artists, innovators, competitors, and builders. And there's nothing we can't do together.
Check it out.
Introducing the new and improved taste of Pepsi Zero Sugar. Now more delicious. Zero never tasted so good. Try it now.
Check it out.
All right, back here at Duncan Field, we head to the 3rd inning. Concordia at the plate here. And the Bulldogs will have the top of the order. It'll be Jaden Jordahl, Bronx Lewis, and Jack Watson coming up here to face the Broncos. And our pitcher out there in Cameron Dahlgren 1 ball, 1 strike now to Jaden Jordan. He flew out to center field to begin the ball game here today. Batting average on the season at .288 for Jordan. He hits that one to right center field. That's going to fall for a base hit just over the head of Delgado at the second base. So Jordan is going to get aboard with a single to right center. Now Brox Lewis is going to come up there next. Lewis with a batting average of .312 on the season. He's going to be a left-handed hitter. Brox Lewis comes to the plate here for the Dogs. Concordia has left 3 on the base pads in the first 2 innings. Got a goose egg on the scoreboard. First pitch to him is going to be down low for a ball, 1-0. Concordia left a base runner at third base in inning number 1. Left runners on at second and third in inning number 2. Throw over to first base. Not in time. Diving back in there is going to be Jaden Jordan for the Bulldogs. Next pitch here by Dahlgren is going to be a breaking pitch that misses. 2 balls and no strikes. Two balls and no strikes with nobody out here in inning number 3. Next pitch by Dahlgren is going to be a fastball here. That's going to be inside. Jordan has got 12 stolen bases so far this year. 12 out of 13 in stealing bases. He's down there at first base. He stays put as the pitch is going to be outside for a ball, and he walks him. So Brox Lewis is going to get a walk here. First walk of the ball game given up by Cameron Dahlgren. He's hit a man, and now he picks up his first walk. Jordan heads down to second base for the Dogs, and here is Jack Watson coming to the plate next. Jake Watson coming to the plate next. Right-handed hitter. First pitch to him is going to be in there for a strike. Watson was the baseball player of the week last week in the Great Plains Athletic Conference. Next pitch is going to be outside for a ball. He went 9 for 16 last week. Had 3 doubles, a home run, and 9 RBIs. Coming off of a good series there against Dakota Wesleyan. Hits that ball out to the outfield, out to left center field, and the center fielder Valdez falls down on the play, or Martinez falls down on the play, and the ball falls, and Martinez may have hurt himself out there. Yeah, Martinez, they're asking for the trainer to come out and attend to Tristan Martinez. Kind of a weird-looking play as Martinez, from his center field position, came over into left center field and looked like he was going to make the play on the ball, but the last second it looked like his leg came out from under him and maybe slipped on the wet surface out there in the outfield. We had some rain, as I mentioned earlier today. He may have slipped on that and injured himself out there in the left center field. But Watson is going to get aboard here with a base hit. That's going to load up the bases now for Concordia. And now the training staff has come out to attend to Tristan Martinez. He is down on his back out in the outfield, and as soon as he went down, Samuel Bruno, the left fielder who was in the area, was only signaling for the training staff. So this could be a serious injury to Tristan Martinez out in the left center field. So they're going to tend to him. We'll break away. We'll come back. We got an injury timeout here in this third inning. Hastings with a lead 3-0 over Concordia. You're listening to Bronco Baseball.
Taylor is living the Runza dream.
The Fry life is the high life.
He's stacking up rewards on the Runza mobile app.
Points on points on points on points.
That's a lot of free food from Runza.
Yep, I'm headed there for lunch today.
Download the Runza mobile app to start getting rewards. Because from the way we make it to the way it makes you feel, Runza makes it all better.
Celebrate Mother's Day. Make her day a little brighter with fresh, beautiful flowers. A simple, thoughtful gift that says thank you and I love you all at once. Fresh blooms, bright, cheerful colors, perfect for any mom. Order now for Mother's Day online at bobsassflowers.com or call us at 402-462-2179. Serving Hastings since 1955.
Bored of the same old sports coverage? Get on the cutting edge of sports with Extreme Sports.
That ball hammers deep toward left into the well. That ball is gone.
The biggest plays, breaking news, and we can't forget the best sports talk.
Let's be great. Let's be great.
We are Extreme Sports.
All right, back here at Duncan Field, Martinez is going to be carried off of the field by a couple of the teammates here. He's going to come back to the dugout. So obviously a serious leg injury here to Martinez as he was trying to field the ball out there in the outfield, and at the last second it looked like his leg kind of gave away, maybe slipped on the surface out there. Went down awkwardly as the ball fell to the turf. As a result, Concordia's now got the bases loaded here in the third inning, trailing by a score of 3-0. But Martinez is going to be looked at here, and obviously his availability is going to be in doubt for the rest of the day. Luke Wilson is scheduled to come up there next. You're listening to Bronco Baseball here today. This is the first game of two between the Dogs and the Broncos. Cameron Dahlgren anxiously waiting on the mound here for Hastings as we try to get this thing restarted. Luke Wilson will come to the plate. That makes some changes now as Chris Faraday is going to move over to center field and play that spot for Martinez. Wims will come in and play out in right field now for the Broncos. So Luke Wilson will come to the plate next for Concordia. He's going to take a strikeout. No, it's going to be a ball outside. Dylan Wims is now going to be your right fielder. So make some changes out there because of the injury to Tristan Martinez. There's a ball hit out to Wims. That is deep out against the wall, and that's going to be grabbed out there. Runner's going to tag up at third base. He's going to come home, and Concordia gets on the scoreboard. Wilson gave that baby a ride right to the wall out in the right center field. Wims grabs it just to the left of the sign. It says 405 feet away. That was about a couple of feet away from getting out of here. Wilson flies out to right field. That's going to produce a run. Concordia is on the board 3-1 here in the ball game. Runners are now on at first and third base with one man out. Andrew Fetty is going to come up there next. That would have been a home run at most ballparks in the conference. Not here. Andrew Fetty is going to take a strike here. He's the designated hitter. He flew out to left field his first time up here. So that one stays in the park. Could have been a grand slam. As the ball ripped out to right field. It's going to be in foul territory. But Dylan Wims catches that ball right up against the brick wall out here at Duncan Field at 405 feet away. No balls and two strikes to Andrew Fetty. 3-1 is the score. We're in the third inning of play. Runners are on at first and third base here for Concordia. There's another ball. It's going to be fouled away on the first base side. Got his no balls and 2 strikes. Other games going on in the conference today for baseball. Midland is playing at Briar Cliff. Dakota Wesleyan is at Mount Marty. Doane is at Morningside. Waldorf is playing at Northwestern. Next pitch is a fastball. It's going to be outside for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. In softball, we're watching the series between Midland and Doane today. Hastings currently sitting in 8th place in the standings in both baseball and in softball, trying to work their way into the postseason tournament next week. There's a pitch thrown there by Dahlgren. Is going to be on the inside corner, and it catches the inside corner for a strike. And Andrew Fetty, he goes down. Strikeout number 2 in the ball game now for Cameron Dahlgren for Hastings. Now there's 2 outs. Carson Burnett, the first baseman, is coming up there next. Burnett had a double his last time up there. Batting average on the season at .295. Dahlgren can get out of this thing with only 1 run scored. Be a blessing here. Concordia had the bases loaded. And nobody out. There's the ball. It's going to be popped up behind the plate. It's going to be caught here by Vargas, and the inning is over. Peyton Vargas comes near the backstop back here near the fence to grab it, and the inning is over as Carson Burnett is going to foul out to the catcher to end the third inning of play. The Bulldogs, they score 1 run here in the third inning. It could have been a whole lot worse. 1 run on a couple of base hits. No errors on Hastings, and 2 runners left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the third inning with the score. Hastings 3, Concordia 1. You're listening to Bronco Baseball.
Family Medical Center of Hastings is the place to go for all your healthcare needs. Their team is trained to treat the whole person regardless of age. They provide a wide range of medical care, including acute care, routine health screenings, and treatment of chronic conditions. They're dedicated to providing you with the best care in the most cost-effective manner. Family Medical Center, as an independent clinic, has served the community for over 65 years. Your family's home for healthcare. 1021 West 14th Street. Proud to support all area student-athletes.
Ben works at Runza, and he loves his teammates.
We got Rockstar Rachel, Johnny J-Town, and T-Money Terry in the house!
What's your nickname, Ben?
They call me Benst in the world.
Did you give yourself that?
Maybe.
Nickname or not, Runza makers stick together. Want to join the team? Apply today at runza.com/jobs or text Runza to 242424. Runza makes it all better.
Bored of the same old sports coverage? Get on the cutting edge of sports with Extreme Sports.
That ball hammered deep toward left into the well. That ball is gone!
The biggest plays, breaking news, and we can't forget the best sports talk.
Let's be great! Let's be great!
We are Extreme Sports.
All right, back here at Duncan Field in Hastings as we head to the bottom of the third inning. This first game is scheduled for 7 here today. The Broncos and the Bulldogs. 3-1 is the score. Hastings has got the lead. Top of the order up here for the Broncos will be Jared Delgado, Evan Morrison, Samuel Bruno. When those guys get aboard, we'll see Peyton Vargas coming to the plate. Caden Bogarski is the pitcher here for the Concordia Bulldogs. There's a swing and a miss there by Delgado. He falls behind it, no balls and 2 strikes. Delgado flew out to center field his first time up there. Working from the stretch with nobody on the base pads here. 0-2 pitch on the way. That's going to be a cold third strike, and Delgado goes down. Strikeout number 1 in the ball game now for Caden Bogarski. Here's Evan Morrison coming to the plate next. Morrison, that is single, his first time up there. Batting average 387 on the season for Evan Morrison. Leads the team in that category and a lot of others offensively here for the Broncos for the 2026 season. Pitching can be in there for a strike, 0-1 to Evan Morrison. This is the final series of the season for Hastings College, and again, hopefully they can maintain at least the number 8 spot in the conference standings after this weekend and earn a spot into the postseason tournament that gets underway next Wednesday. Next pitch is going to be down low for a ball, 1 strike to Evan Morrison. Bogursky looks for the sign. He's got it. Here's a pitch to the plate. That ball's going to be hit out to a left field, backing up, and making the catch, and then falling to the seat of his pants out there is going to be Luke Wilson. So Wilson makes the catch, and he falls down to his seat of his pants here and hangs on to the ball. So Morrison flies out to left field. 2 outs now for the Broncos here in the third. Samuel Bruno is coming to the plate next. Bruno, he grounded out to the pitcher back in the first inning. He'll take a strike here. He just got a little piece of the ball and it went rolling down the first base line. The pitcher, Bogursky, came over to field the ball and it tags out Bruno hitting the first base on that first battery in the earlier in the ball game. Next pitch is going to be in there for a strike. No balls and 1 strike to Samuel Bruno batting here in the third. There's a fastball that's going to be outside. The count should be 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2 is the count here to Samuel Bruno. Started the day with a batting average of 377 on the season. Bogursky's next pitch is on the way. It's going to be hit to third base. Blumberg has got it. His throw over to first gets there on the hop, and it's pulled in there by Burnett, and he hangs on to it. And Bruno is retired in the play from third base to first. So the Broncos go down in order here in the bottom of the third. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We'll go to the fourth with the score, Hastings 3, Concordia 1. Listening to Bronco Baseball.
I'm John Butler, funeral director and owner at Livingston Butler Vollen Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the advanced funeral planning specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Vollen Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
I became the manager about 1.5 years ago. Now what I get to do is, as the manager, I get to support my nurses and continue to help them grow and develop into fantastic nurses that give exceptional care. The favorite part about my job is being able to round with those patients and hear how great my nurses are. They say, oh, so-and-so is great, and talk about the great care that they are providing to them. I just love the impact that nursing can make. That's why we do this job. You know, it's for those positive outcomes. It's for those miracle stories. It's for the relationships that you build and the heartache that you feel for these families, but yet the triumphs that they have at the end. And they get to hold their baby because of the care that we provided here. And that's just incredible to me. And that's the whole reason I became a nurse. Mary Lanning Healthcare. Your care, our inspiration.
All right, back here at Duncan Field as we head to the fourth inning of play. This is Jimmy Blumberg at the plate. We've got 7, 8, and 9 in the batting order here for Concordia in this inning to face Cameron Dahlgren and the Broncos. Blumberg batting average on the season, .258. Hit by a pitch in inning number 2. Skies all of a sudden starting to lighten up a little bit today. There's one hit right to the third baseman. Going to be grabbed there by Levi Fletcher for Hastings and records the out. Blumberg is going to line out to your third baseman to begin the fourth inning. That's going to bring up Jake Tyler next. And some rain on and off throughout the morning. Rain expected for us this afternoon, but right now, skies are lightening up. This is as bright as it has been since we got here earlier this morning. Here's Jake Tyler coming to the plate next. He is the shortstop. Grounded out his first time up there to the shortstop. That was back in the second inning. .226 is his batting average on the season. So Jake Tyler coming up to the plate. Pitch there by Dahlgren is going to be outside for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes now to Jake Dahlgren. Tyler settles into the right-hand batter's box here. Dahlgren comes set. Here comes the next pitch. That's going to be outside for a ball. Gets away from the catcher, Vargas, all the way back to the backstop, but no damage done. Nobody on the base pads right now for the Bulldogs. Hastings, 3 runs and 5 hits so far in the ball game. They've committed 1 error. Concordia, 1 hit. Actually, 1 run with 3 hits. And 1 error so far in the ball game. Hastings out on top here, 3-1. In the fourth inning of play, this first game scheduled for 7. Second game will go 9 here today. Marcus Miller expected to get the start for Hastings in game number 2 here today. 3 balls, 1 strike to Tyler. Here comes the next pitch. It's going to be in there for a strike in the inside corner. Nice pitch thrown there by Cameron Dahlgren, and now he has worked a count full with 3 balls and 2 strikes. 3-2 the count here. Tyler, the number 8 hitter in the batting order. There's a ball ripped to left field. That's going to fall for a base hit. Picked up out there by Samuel Bruno for Hastings. So Tyler is going to get a base hit. And coming up there next is going to be Leighton Rivas. Rivas is the center fielder. He's got a batting average of .045 on the season. He was hit for in the second inning in his first time through the order here. He was hit for in the second inning by Vanis, and he struck out. So this is the first at-bat for Leighton Rivas in the ball game here for Concordia. Again, .045 is his batting average on the season. 1 base hit and 22 trips to the plate. He's going to take a strike here. 0-1 to Rivas. Rivas has walked 11 times so far this year. He has struck out 8 times. Next pitch is going to be outside. Good stop there by Vargas behind the plate for the Broncos. Keeping the base runner down there at first base. That is Jake Tyler. So Leighton Rivas, right-handed hitter, up there for the Dogs in the fourth inning. 1 man out. There's the ball. It's going to be hit out toward the left field, but Bruno is out there and makes the catch. He could have been in concrete. That one was hit right to him. Leighton Rivas is going to fly out to left field. That's the second out here in the fourth inning. Jaden Jordan is going to come up to the plate next. He is 1 for 2 so far today. Had a single in the third inning. Came around to score. Flew out to center field in inning number 1. Comes up there with a man on at first base. That is Tyler. Here's the pitch by Dahlgren. It's going to be in there for a strike in the outside corner. No balls, 1 strike to Jaden Jordan for Concordia. Jaden's got 42 base hits and 146 trips to the plate. Next pitch is outside the strike zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 men out. Jaden's got 5 doubles and 6 home runs this year for his extra base hits. Next pitch is going to be in there for a strike. 1-2 is the count. Jayden has got 32 walks so far this year. He has struck out 29 times. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Next pitch is going to be down low. The ball gets away from the catcher, Vargas. He picks it up and throws it out to second base, not in time. And Tyler gets a swipe here for the Dogs. He moves into scoring position down there at second. The guy at the plate here on the Jayden Jordan is sitting at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bronx Lewis would be next. Hastings out on top of this ball game. The score is 3-1. Cameron Dahlgren comes set. He fires under the plate. That is going to be popped up out toward right field. He's going to curve over into foul territory. The count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jayden Jordan settles back into the right-hand batter's box. Dahlgren is ready to go. His big kick, and the ball is going to be hit toward third base. Going to be fielded there by Fletcher. His throw across the diamond is going to be in time, and the inning is going to be over. Jayden Jordan is going to ground out to the third baseman, Levi Fletcher. So Concordia puts a man on base with a single by Jake Tyler, but can't do anything with it. No runs on a base hit, no errors. A runner left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th inning with a score: Hastings 3, Concordia 1. You're listening to Bronco Baseball.
Looking for the place in Hastings where people go for great food and good times? Head to Bullseye's Sports Bar and Grill. For more than 25 years, Bullseye's has been a Hastings institution, the spot where friends gather, games are watched, and memories are made. And every night of the week brings a can't-miss special. Tuesday features the pork ribeye. Wednesday is legendary wing night, crispy, saucy, and downright delicious. Thursday is the chicken buffet. Come hungry. Friday is pick your protein with your entree cooked to order plus all-you-can-eat sides and the salad bar. And Saturday wraps it up with steak specials. Great food, great atmosphere, and a Hastings tradition for more than a quarter century. Bullseye Sports Bar and Grill on West 2nd and Hastings.
Nicole is having her favorite Runza salad.
The something ranch salad.
It's the chicken bacon ranch salad.
But you can put whatever else you want around it. I'm here for the ranch.
I'm with you. Runza's homemade ranch is perfect. It's so good. A classic.
It's literally the only reason I like salad.
Great point. Come get a salad with your ranch. Try Runza's chicken bacon ranch salad today. Because from the way we make it to the way it makes you feel, Runza makes it all better.
Bored of the same old sports coverage? Get on the cutting edge of sports with Extreme Sports.
That ball hammered deep toward left into the well. That ball is gone!
The biggest plays, breaking news, and we can't forget the best sports talk.
Let's be great! Let's be great!
We are Extreme Sports.
All right, we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Hastings has got the lead over Concordia today. The score is 3-1. Peyton Vargas scheduled up here in the 4th inning. He's at the plate right now. No balls and 2 strikes to Peyton Vargas. Hastings with 3 runs in the 2nd inning. Next pitch is going to be outside for a ball, 1-2. So Hastings scoring at 3 runs in the 2nd. Concordia came back to get a run back in the 3rd inning of play. 3-1 is the score as we play here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Peyton Vargas at the plate here for Hastings. There's a pitch that's going to be inside for a ball. 2-2 is the count now. Vargas started the day with a batting average of .330. Had a single back during the 2nd inning. Came around to score one of those 3 runs. Bogurski continues to throw out there. There's a ball that's going to be hit back up through the middle. That's going to be a base hit picked up out there by Rivas, the center fielder. So Peyton Vargas is going to get aboard his 2nd base hit of the ball game. And now coming up there for Hastings is going to be Dylan Wims. So Wims got inserted in the ball game when Tristan Martinez fell to injury earlier in this ball game. Wims is now playing in the outfield for Hastings, so he's up there for the first time here today in the fourth inning. Wims with a batting average of .259 on the season, a right-handed hitter. Hastings with a base runner down there at first base. That is Vargas. Wims shows bunt, pulls her back, and will take a ball 1-0. Dylan Wims has got 15 base hits and 58 trips to the plate. He has scored 11 runs, 4 doubles, a triple, and a home run with 12 RBIs for Wims as he bunts the ball down first base line, fielded there by the first baseman. A close play there at first base as your pitcher Bogurski goes over to cover the bag. Wims nearly got there. He's ruled out at first base. So the sacrifice works as they move Vargas along to second base. So Vargas is at second. Now Hastings with one man out here in the fourth. And Joshua Magnahay is going to come to the plate next. Magnahay popped one to the first baseman back there in inning number 2. 0 for 1. Pitch to him is going to be in there for a strike. 0-1 to Magnahay. .345 is his batting average on the season. 19 base hits, 55 trips to the plate coming in here. 8 runs scored. 4 doubles. He's got 3 home runs and 22 RBIs so far this season. Swings and misses on the next one. No balls and 2 strikes. Hastings out on top here. Action from the Great Plains Athletic Conference today. 3-1 is the score. Hastings with the early lead here. Concordia battling for the conference championship here with Doane. Those two teams are separated by only a game going into action today. So they're battling for the conference championship today. Hastings looking to keep their postseason playoff hopes alive. They're down here in the number 8 spot in the conference standings right now. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Magnahay goes down. Strikeout for Caden Bogurski. Strikeout number 2 in the ball game now for Bogurski. Here comes Levi Fletcher coming to the plate next. Fletcher is the third baseman. Reached on an error back there in inning number 2. Started the day with a batting average at .338 on the season. Bogurski fires one to the plate and a swing and a miss there by Levi Fletcher. No balls, 1 strike. Peyton Vargas is your base runner down there at second base. He's a pretty good lead down there right now. Nobody holding him on at the bag. No balls and 2 strikes here to Levi Fletcher. Bogurski comes set. He's going to fire one to the plate. That's going to be outside for a ball. One ball and 2 strikes. Broncos are at 21-23 coming to the ball game here today. 9-17 in the conference. Concordia 33-14 overall. They're 21-5 in the conference. Hastings has got the lead in this game though by a score of 3-1. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and Fletcher goes down, and the inning is over here for Hastings as both Magnahay and Fletcher strike out to end the fourth inning of play. Broncos scored no runs on a base hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base. We go to the 5th inning with the score Hastings 3, Concordia 1 on Extreme Sports.
At High Street Insurance and Financial Services, we are agents of change. We believe life is full of new opportunities, and we guide you forward with strength and confidence so together we can build stronger, more resilient communities, illuminating the path ahead, where opportunities are always within reach. We do it for all our futures. High Street Insurance and Financial Services, located at 3606 Cimarron Plaza, Suite 280 in Hastings.
I feel like from the time we were young, the golden rule was always something with being sisters in our house. They would always say, treat your sister how you want to be treated, and sometimes we did better at that than others, but...
It only seemed right. You know, we both knew that we wanted to live close to family, and so we both chose to come back to Hastings. We have our families close, we have each other, we get to raise our kids together, and we both get to serve the community of Hastings. Mary Lanning picks out people that are going to help support our mission and our values here at Mary Lanning. They do. They want to recruit people that are continue to make us a strong organization and continue to provide that exceptional patient care.
There are people all around me constantly to support me in my personal life, but also in my career. People are always advocating for me to grow and to learn.
We're two sisters here that believe in Mary Lanning and the mission and values here, and we're going to continue to support this community for as long as we can.
All right, back here at Duncan Field, Bronco baseball for you here today. Hastings and Concordia. 3-1 is the score. Hastings has got the lead. Bulldogs batting here in the top half of the fifth inning. This is Bronx Lewis. Going to have 2, 3, and 4 in the batting order here for the Dogs in this inning. Lewis, a .312 hitter on the season, had a double in the first inning of play, and he walked in inning number 3, so officially 1 for 1 in this ball game. He looks to extend that here. 1-2 is the count to Bronx Lewis. And the Broncos last weekend being swept by Doane, going on the road this week and splitting 2 games with Dordt. There's a big swing and a miss there and a strikeout. Lewis goes down here in the fifth inning. Strikeout number 3 in the ball game now for Cameron Dahlgren. That's going to bring up Jake Watson next. Watson, the leading hitter in the team at .374. Hastings losing 4 games at Doane last weekend, splitting 2 with Dordt during the week. Meanwhile, the Bulldogs, there's a high fly ball out to right field, and the settling under out there is going to be Wims to record the out. Jake Watson is going to fly out to Dylan Wims in right field. Last weekend, Concordia, they played at Dakota Wesleyan. Won 3 of 4 games last weekend against the Tigers, and then played during the week in Sioux City against Morningside and swept the Mustangs. Scores of 6-4 and 6-0. Hastings has got the lead here at 3-1. We're in the top half of the fifth inning. 2 men out here. Here's the pitch to the plate. He's going to be in there for a strike. Luke Wilson, the left fielder, for Concordia. He's 0 for 2 so far today. Grounded out in the first inning and flew out to right field in inning number 3. And started the day with a batting average of .338. Next pitch is going to be down low for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. But just as the clouds brighten up a little bit, thought we might be able to see the sun today. It's not the case. It's darkening again here at Duncan Field. There's a high fly ball out towards center field. Backing up, settling under it is going to be Faraday. He makes the catch, and Concordia goes down in order here in inning number 5. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th inning with the score. Hastings 3, Concordia 1. You're listening to Bronco Baseball.
Looking for the place in Hastings where people go for great food and good times? Head to Bullseye's Sports Bar and Grill. For more than 25 years, Bullseyes has been a Hastings institution, the spot where friends gather, games are watched, and memories are made. And every night of the week brings a can't-miss special. Tuesday features the pork ribeye. Wednesday is legendary wing night, crispy, saucy, and downright delicious. Thursday is the chicken buffet. Come hungry. Friday is pick your protein with your entree cooked to order plus all-you-can-eat sides and the salad bar. And Saturday wraps it up with steak specials. Great food, great atmosphere, and a Hastings tradition for more than a quarter century. Bullseye Sports Bar and Grill on West 2nd and Hastings.
Brandon is super pumped about Runza.
Runza is so sweet.
Especially all their desserts.
Oh, those are the sweetest.
Chocolate, vanilla, and twist ice cream cones, 4 flavors of shakes, chocolate chip cookies, and ice cream sandwiches.
Literally sweet.
Aw, I love your enthusiasm.
Well, I love Runza.
So sweet of you. Come satisfy your sweet tooth. Because from the way we make it to the way it makes you feel, Runza makes it all better.
Bottom of the 5th inning, Hastings coming up here with 8, 9, and 1 in their batting order. This is Chris Faraday coming to the plate. First of all, he's the right fielder. Batting average 286 on the season. He'll be followed up by Jace Valdez and then Jared Delgado. Hastings with the lead here, 3-1 over Concordia. There's a fastball thrown there by Bogurski that misses. 2 balls and no strikes. Bogurski has went all the way here. In fact, both pitchers have went all the way here for the Bulldogs in this one. Next pitch is going to be in there for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Two and 1 is the count here to Chris Faraday. Next pitch is going to miss inside. So it's 3 balls and 1 strike. Hastings scoring all 3 of their runs in the second inning today. There's the next pitch. That's going to be in there for a strike right at the knees. So 3 balls and 2 strikes now. There's one's going to be fouled away over here toward the first base side to the dugout. So they counted 3 balls and 2 strikes. Three and 2 is the count here. Next pitch is on. Oh, a called 3rd strike here on the inside corner. Chris Faraday strikes out. Now Jake Valdez is going to come to the plate next. Valdez is a right-handed hitter. He is 0 for 1 so far today. Grounded out to second base back there in inning number 2. No balls and 1 strike here to Jace Valdez. There's a pitch that's going to be down low for a ball. Blumberg, Tyler, Jordahl, and also Burnett in the infield here for Concordia from third base to first. Watson behind the plate. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. It's on the way. It's going to be in there for a strike. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Harrison Hoikvan now throwing out there for Concordia in this 5th inning. Valdez, he fouls away the next pitch. Back to the backstop. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hoyt Van, a product out of Omaha Central. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Valdez. Next one is going to be down low, and it ricochets off of the glove of the catcher, Jake Watson, back here to the screen. One ball and 2 strikes to Jace Valdez. Next pitch is going to be up high for a ball, 2-2. You're listening to Hastings College baseball action here today on Extreme Sports. Also with the Hastings College streaming services on the GPAC network as well. So wherever you are today, thanks for joining us. Hope you're enjoying Bronco baseball from a cloudy, stormy-looking day here today. Next pitch is going to be fouled away down the first base side, out of play. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Seniors Day today as well for the Hastings College seniors. Final game of the regular season for Hastings. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. It's on the way and a cold third strike. Valdez, he threw away the bat like he was taking a scamper down to first base. But he is rung up here by the home plate umpire. A strikeout, so back-to-back strikeouts here for the Dogs. And now Jared Delgado is going to come to the plate next. Delgado, he is 0 for 2 so far today. Flew out to center field in inning number 1, and he struck out in inning number 3. Started the day with a batting average of .306. 3-1 is the score. Hastings has got the lead over Concordia. Action from the Great Plains Athletic Conference here this afternoon. Here comes the pitch here to Delgado. It's going to be in there for a strike. 1-1 is the count. Hastings in their all black uniforms here today. Concordia in their all grays. 1 ball, 1 strike. Next pitch fouled back to the screen. 1-2 for Jared Delgado. Delgado's got 11 walks so far this year. He's got 11 strikeouts. 1-2 the count with 2 men out. Next pitch is going to be outside for a ball. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Harrison Hoytdam, the sophomore out of Omaha Central, out there throwing for Concordia now. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 men out here in the 5th. And there's another cold third strike in the outside corner. 3 straight strikeouts here in the 5th inning. Broncos go down in order. Good inning there by Harrison Hoytdam for the Concordia Bulldogs. 3 straight strikeouts. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. We go to the 6th inning of play with a score. Hastings 3, Concordia 1 on Extreme Sports.
Hi, this is Terry Anstein, President, 5 Points Bank of Hastings. On behalf of our shareholders, directors, and staff, I would like to thank all of our great customers for helping us become the fastest growing bank in Hastings. I would also like to invite everyone in the Hastings area to stop in and visit with one of our bankers and learn how we can be your bank for the long run. Locally owned, locally managed, 5 Points Bank, the better bank. Member FDIC.
Extreme Sports, the ultimate destination for sports enthusiasts.
This is the greatest record in the history of sports.
Broadcasting live 24/7.
Just have some fun out here, and enjoy the journey of all this. We're trying to get 16 wins and going after a gold trophy.
We give the people what they want.
And I am a huge sports fan. I love sports.
Mike Well back at Duncan Field at Hastings as we head to the 6th inning of play. Game number 1 here today. 2 games scheduled for us between Hastings and Concordia to wrap up the 2026 regular season for the Broncos. Andrew Fetty is the guy at the plate here for Concordia. He's going to pop this ball up as you get out of play. Fetty started the day with a .270 batting average. He's 0 for 2 so far today. Flew out to left field back there in inning number 2. Struck out in inning number 3. Cameron Dahlgren is all the way here for Hastings in this ball game. There's a pitch that's going to be down low for a ball, 1-2. Dahlgren wanted to know where that one was. He takes a little stroll around the infield here. Dahlgren has thrown 5 innings so far, giving up 4 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. Next pitch is a swing and a miss. Andrew Fetty strikes out. Strikeout number 5 in the ball game now for Dahlgren. Carson Burnett is going to come up there next for Concordia. Burnett down here in the number 6 spot in the batting order. He had a double back there in the second inning, and he fouled back to the catcher in inning number 3, so he's 1 for 2 today. Started the day with a batting average of .295. First pitch is going to be outside the strike zone. 1-0 is the count. Dahlgren with 77 pitches so far in the ball game. He's thrown 52 strikes. That one's going to be in there for a strike in the outside corner. And the count is now even up at 1 ball and 1 strike. To Carson Burnett, right-handed hitter. Settles into the box. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. That ball is going to be hit over the head of the shortstop Valdez. Into left field around the bag at first, making a big turn. He'll stay put. Burnett with a single to left field. So the Bulldogs have a base runner. Jimmy Blumberg is going to come to the plate next. Blumberg, he is 0 for 1 so far in the ball game. Lined out to the third baseman back there in inning number 4. He was hit by a pitch in inning number 2. 3-1. Hastings has got the lead in the 6th inning, but Concordia's got a base runner on at first base. Dahlgren's pitch is going to be in there for a strike, so he gets a hit on Blumberg. No balls and 1 strike. Blumberg has walked 11 times so far this year. He has struck out 29 times. 0-1 to Jimmy Blumberg. There's the next pitch. It's going to be outside for a ball. 1-1 is the count. Burnett, again, is your base runner down there at first base. Burnett so far in stealing bases this year, 6 out of 7. There's one that's going to be tapped down the third base line. That's going to be in foul territory. 1 ball and 2 strikes. You're listening to Hastings College Baseball here today on Extreme Sports. Also with the Hastings College streaming services today and on the GPAC network. We're at Duncan in Hastings. Cloudy day today. Broncos have the lead 3-1. Next pitch is going to be upstairs for a ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jake Tyler would be next. Concordia has a base runner on at first base. That is Burnett. There's a swing and a miss here, and Blumberg goes down. Strikeout number 6 in the ball game now for Cameron Dahlgren. There's 2 men out for Concordia now here in the 6th inning. Jake Tyler coming up there next. Told you earlier, Concordia a good hitting team, but they tend to strike out a lot. They had 369 strikeouts coming into the ball game here this afternoon, this being their 47th game of the year. 369 strikeouts. They've struck out 6 more times today against Cameron Dahlgren. Jake Tyler is the guy at the plate next for Concordia as he fouled away the first pitch here. Tyler started the day with a batting average of .226. Grounded out in the second inning. Had a single in the 4th. Concordia has stranded 6 base runners so far today. They got 1 run on the board. scored that 1 run in the 3rd. Hastings scoring their 3 runs in the 2nd inning. Nobody has scored since those innings. The 4th, 5th, and now we're into the 6th inning. There's a ball ripped down the 3rd base line. That's going to be in foul territory. Burnett goes back to first base. Tyler in the right-hand batter's box here for the Bulldogs. 2 men out for Concordia. They're in the top of the 6th inning. Hastings holding on to a 2-run lead. Next pitch, that baby just misses. Again, Dahlgren wanting to know where that baby was. He puts on a lot of miles walking around the pitcher's mound here. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the next pitch by Dahlgren. That's going to be down low for a ball. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Three and 2 with 2 men out. Here's the next pitch by Dahlgren. It's going to be outside for a ball, and he walks him. Base on balls given up here. That's only the 2nd walk of the ball game. Given up by Cameron Dahlgren. And now coming to the plate next is going to be Leighton Rivas. Cameron Dahlgren is a freshman pitcher. Head coach Victor Rojas, he comes in here from Las Vegas. And the pitch here to Rivas is going to be in there for a strike. Rivas flew out to left field back there in inning number 4. And he was pinch hit for in inning number 2 when Concordia had base runners on at 2nd and 3rd base. So his first at bat, he was a pinch hit for. Vanish came up there and struck out. Rivas batted in the 4th and flew out to left. Rivas has only got 1 base hit so far this year. 1 for 23 now from the plate. .045 his batting average to start the day. Base runners on at first and second base. With 2 men out here in the 6th inning. Rivas fouls away the pitch here down the 3rd base line. No balls, 2 strikes. Again, Concordia battling for the Great Plains Athletic Conference Championship here today. They're 1 game behind Doane to start today. Dahlgren comes set, fires under the plate. That ball is going to be fouled away. First base side. Doane today is playing in Sioux City against Morningside. Other games going on in the conference. Midland is at Briarcliff, Dakota Wesleyan at Mount Marty. And Waldorf is playing at Northwestern today on this final day of the regular season. There's a fastball there that just misses. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Leighton Rivas. See some sprinkles of rain on the window now here in the press box. 1 and 2 is the count. There's a ball that's going to be hit out toward left field, and that's going to curve over into foul territory. Bruno gives chase, gives up pursuit of that baseball as that maybe is way foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Leighton Rivas. Concordia has got the tying runs on the base pads here in the 6th inning. Hastings with a lead, 3-1. There's the ball hit back up to the middle. It's going to be grabbed over by Valdez at shortstop. It goes over and touches the bag, and the inning is going to be over. Valdez at shortstop moves over toward the bag at second to field that ground ball. He steps on the bag to catch the force out on Jake Tyler, and the inning is going to be over. So Concordia puts the tying run on the base pads here in the 6th, but they can't get him home. No runs for Concordia in the 6th inning. No runs on a base hit. No errors. 2 runners left on base. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning with a score. Hastings 3 and Concordia 1. You're listening to Broncos Baseball.
If you experience air conditioning problems this summer, call the experts at Ruts Heating and Air Conditioning of Hastings. Ruts is a local, family-owned business with over 45 years of experience in the HVAC industry. They service all makes and models of heating and cooling equipment for both residential and commercial customers. You can trust Ruts Heating and Air Conditioning to complete all repairs, installations, and maintenance work on time. If you're shopping for a new air conditioner or heating system, remember Ruts Heating and Air Conditioning. They have a broad range of systems to choose from. Ruts Heating and Air Conditioning. Call 402-463-4853.
This summer, baseball lives on Extreme Sports. Extreme Sports is your exclusive home for American Legion Baseball, bringing you every big moment from Hastings 5 Points Bank, Hastings Johnson Imperial Homes, and Hastings Runza. From the first pitch of the regular season to the intensity of the postseason, we've got it all covered. Every game, every inning, every highlight. Don't miss a single thing this summer. American Legion Baseball lives right here on Extreme Sports.
All right, back here at Duncan as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Hastings trying to hang on here. 3-1 is the score. The Broncos with the lead over Concordia. Evan Morrison is the guy who's going to lead things off here in the 6th. For the Broncos, he's behind on the count of no balls and 2 strikes. Pitch there is going to be outside and down low for a ball. 1-2. Morrison has had a sensational year for Hastings College this year. A .387 hitter on the season. And the pitch to him here is going to be outside for a ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Morrison, one of the guys that Victor Rojas brought in when he took the job here at Hastings. But you'll be inside for a ball here, and the count 3 balls and 2 strikes. Morrison is actually from Canada, making his appearance here in Hastings for the 2026 season. He found his way to the pitch here down the third base line. 3 balls and 2 strikes. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. This first game is scheduled for 7 here today. Hastings with a lead over Concordia at 3-1. We'll play another one this afternoon. That'll go 9 innings. There's a called third strike here, and Morrison goes down. Strikeout in the ball game. Coming up there next is going to be Samuel Bruno. Bruno, he is 0 for 2 so far in this ball game. Bruno is grounded out twice, started the day with a batting average of .377. Tell you what, since Hoytman came on, he's struck out 7 batters in 3 and a third innings of relief work here today for the Bulldogs. Bogurski threw the first 2 innings, and Hoytman has thrown the last 3 and a third. Hoytman has given up only 1 base hit and 7 strikeouts since he came on in relief. But Cameron Dahlgren is pretty well shut down. A pretty good lineup here for the Concordia Bulldogs today, only allowing 1 run in this ball game. There's one hit to the shortstop. His throw over to first base. Tyler gets it over to the first baseman in Burnett and records the out. Samuel Bruno is throwing out in the play from short to first. Peyton Vargas coming up there next. He's got the coolest walk-up music ever. Peyton Vargas coming to the plate here in the 6th inning. He is 2 for 2 so far today. He's got a couple of singles, started the day with a batting average of .330. Vargas is going to take one outside for a ball here. 1 ball and no strikes. to Peyton Vargas. Leads the team in doubles. He's got 11. Here's that ball out in front of the plate. It's going to bounce into foul territory. 1 ball, 1 strike to Peyton Vargas. Vargas with 31 RBIs so far this year, 17 base on balls. He has struck out 24 times. Vargas, a redshirt sophomore out of Rusk, Texas. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Peyton Vargas. There's a fastball and a swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Vargas. Left-handed hitter here for the Broncos. Hoyt Van looks in for the sign. He's got it. Comes to the belt. Fires under the plate. That's going to be fouled away. Goes ricocheting off of the face mask, I think, of your catcher and Jake Watson. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Peyton Vargas here in the 6th inning of play. Next pitch on the way. And that one just misses down low. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The GPAC postseason baseball tournament will get underway next Wednesday. GPAC softball tournament also getting underway next week. Here comes a 3-2 pitch. There was that 2-2 to make the correction on the scoreboard. 3 balls and 2 strikes now to Peyton Vargas with 2 men out. White Band now throws one to the plate. That's going to be a call. 3rd strike again on the inside corner. And another strikeout. That's 8 strikeouts since White Band came in on relief here in this ball game. So the Broncos go down in order again for the 2nd straight inning. 8 strikeouts now in the ball game for White Band. Hastings scores no runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. We go to the 7th inning of play with a score. Hastings 3, Concordia 1. You're listening to Bronco Baseball.
The Great Plains Athletic Conference is committed to being champions in the classroom, in our communities, and in competition. And we are also proud to be an NAIA 5-star Champions of Character Conference. To learn more about the GPAC, follow us on social media on Instagram, X, and Facebook. And watch the GPAC on the GPAC Network. The Great Plains Athletic Conference, academic and athletic excellence since 2000.
Looking to make prom night unforgettable? Complete your look with fresh, stylish corsages and boutonnieres designed to match your outfit and stand out on the dance floor. From classic elegance to bold, colorful styles, we've got the perfect finishing touch for your big night. Handcrafted, fresh, and made just for you, because every detail matters. Stop by or order online at bobsassflowers.com and get prom ready in style. Serving Hastings since 1955.
All right, we enter the 7th inning of play. Hastings has got the lead over Concordia. The score is 3-1. Last hope here for the Bulldogs in game number 1 here this afternoon. Cameron Dahlgren trying to finish things off for the Broncos. There's a high fly ball is going to be popped up here as the shortstop Valdez is going to center under it and makes the catch. So the first out here in the 7th inning, as Jaden Jordan is going to fly out to the shortstop. Here comes Bronx Lewis to the plate next. Lewis, he doubled in the first inning, had a walk, and he struck out once. He's officially 1 for 2 here in this ball game. .312 is his batting average on the season coming in here. 1 man out for the Dogs here in the top half of the 7th inning. There's a swing and a miss here. Tell you what, Dahlgren has looked pretty good here today for Hastings College. He's went all the way. Dahlgren has got 5 strikeouts, 2 walks, 5 base hits. There's the 6th one right there. As that goes bouncing into center field for a base hit. Bronx Lewis gets aboard here, so the Bulldogs are not done yet. Here comes Jake Watson to the plate next. Watson is their best hitter on the team. 374 is his batting average. He's got 49 base hits so far this year. He's got 12 doubles. He's got a triple. He's got 9 home runs. And he's got 40 RBIs. Watson coming to the plate now in the 7th inning. There's a pitch that's going to be in there for a strike right down the pipe by Cameron Dahlgren. No balls, 1 strike here to Jake Watson. Runner is out at first base in a 3-1 ball game. Hastings has got the lead. Next pitch by Dahlgren is going to be down low. The ball gets away from the catcher, Vargas. It goes rolling down the third base line and running down to second base on the play is going to be Lewis. So Bronx Lewis moves into scoring position down there at second base now. 1 ball, 1 strike to Jake Watson. Luke Wilson would be next. Concordia's up here in the top of the order. There's the ball. It's going to be hit toward third base. Grabbed there in fair territory. The throw across the diamond is going to be in time. Fletcher grabs it right on the line at third base and gets it over to Magnahay. They got there on the hop, but Magnahay pulls it in, and Jake Watson is retired on the play. 2 men out now for Concordia here in the 7th. Here comes Luke Wilson to the plate next. Wilson is 0 for 3 so far in the ball game. He's flown out twice and he has grounded out once. 338 is batting average to start the day. Pitch here by Dahlgren is going to be outside down low. 1-0 is the count. Hastings trying to pull one off here in the first game of this doubleheader against Concordia, a team that's challenging for the outright championship here in the Great Plains Athletic Conference for the season. Next pitch there by Dahlgren is going to be outside for a ball. 2-0 is the count. Andrew Fetty is the next scheduled hitter here for the Bulldogs. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. That's a fastball that's going to be in there for a strike. 2-1. Luke Wilson, a left-handed hitter here for the Bulldogs. Working against our righty out there in the Cameron Dahlgren. 2 balls, 1 strike. Next pitch is going to be hit out toward center. Oh, it's going to be grabbed there by the shortstop Valdez. And the ball game is going to be over. Valdez makes a diving attempt on the ball, and he comes down with it right behind the bag at second base. And the inning is going to be over, and the ball game is over as Hastings beats the Concordia Bulldogs here in game number 1. Final score, Hastings 3 and Concordia 1. So the Broncos win a big ball game here in their hopes of capturing a spot in the Great Plains Athletic Conference postseason tournament next week. Hastings wins it. Final score 3-1. Back with the final totals after this. You're listening to Bronco Baseball.
Looking for the perfect spot before or after the game? Head to Miscue's Sports Bar and Grill in Hastings. Choose from your favorite sandwich or build your own burger or chicken sandwich just the way you like it. Your choice of cheese, sauces, and all your favorite toppings. Craving wings? Choose from over 20 sauces and rubs that bring the flavor every time. Grab an appetizer, catch the game on the big screens, or challenge your friends to a game of pool or darts. There's always something to do. And don't forget the daily lunch specials. Miscue's Sports Bar and Grill, 316 South Elm. Great food, great games, and the perfect hangout in Hastings.
Highland Dairy is more than milk. We're more than ice cream and more than yogurt. More than just dairy. We're the communities we serve. We're our employees. We're sustainers of the environment and regulators of food safety. Our values are clear because they have to be. Without them, we can't bring you the dairy products you deserve. Highland, locally made, naturally delicious.
What is Mammoth? Excellent question. Mammoth is everything you need it to be. On paper, Mammoth is a modern master build firm dedicated to building the places where passion and community collide. We consult, create, and construct projects of every size. We are makers, movers, machine operators, artists, innovators, competitors, and builders. And there's nothing we can't do together.
Check it out.
Introducing the new and improved taste of Pepsi Zero Sugar. Now more delicious. Zero never tasted so good. Try it now.
Check it out.
Extreme Sports, the ultimate destination for sports enthusiasts.
This is the greatest record in the history of sports.
Broadcasting live 24/7.
Just have some fun out here, and enjoy the journey of all this. I'm trying to get 16 wins and going after a gold trophy.
We give the people what they want.
And I am a huge sports fan. I love sports.
All right, Hastings College wins the first game of the doubleheader today over the Concordia Bulldogs. Final score of 3-1. Hastings scoring 3 runs on 6 base hits and 1 error. Concordia 1 run on 6 hits and 1 error. Cameron Dahlgren, the winning pitcher for Hastings. He goes all 7 innings today. Gives them 6 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Saw a couple of pitchers for Concordia as Caden Bogurski started. He went 2 innings today. Gave up 5 hits, 3 runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Harrison Hoikaban came on. He threw the final 4 innings today for Concordia. He gives up 1 hit and strikes out 8. But the Broncos did just enough offensively today to beat Concordia. Final score at 3-1. Hastings scoring their 3 runs in the second inning. Concordia scored their 1 run in the third. That's all we had today as the Broncos beat Concordia by a score of 3-1. Evan Morrison had a base hit for Hastings in this game. Peyton Vargas had a couple of base hits. Tino Martinez had Tristan Martinez had a base hit for Hastings before he was injured early in the ball game, making an attempt on a fly ball in the outfield. Also getting a base hit for Hastings in this game today, Levi Fletcher, and also Chris Faraday. Fletcher and Faraday each had an RBI in the game today. So Hastings improves to 22-23 on the season. They are now 10-17 in the Great Plains Athletic Conference. Concordia, they're going to drop to 33-15. They're now 21-6 in conference play. Talking about, we've got another game coming up for you today, but I've just been advised that we're going to be in a weather delay now in between games. There's a large storm system that's expected to move through the Hastings area here in the next few minutes. So we're going to be under a weather delay in between games. So it could be 45 minutes to an hour, they tell us, before we will start the second game. But we will have a game 2 of this series coming up, and we're going to be under a weather delay in between games. It could be upwards of 45 minutes to an hour in between the games, but we will have a game number 2 coming up here today between Concordia and Hastings. Again, the Broncos win the first game over Concordia. Final score of 3-1. We'll see you later on this afternoon with more Bronco baseball on Extreme Sports.
We've come to the end of the first game of today's doubleheader, but there's still more Broncos action ahead. Stay tuned. Game 2 is coming up next on Extreme Sports. your exclusive home for Hastings College sports.
Mike abandoning me next week, so yeah, he won't be here on Saturday. No big deal. So
I'm sure I'll be a guest next week.
You know what? Maybe. I don't know if I'm going to allow that. All right, after you abandon us, on Derby Day, but we will certainly get your thoughts on all of the horses tomorrow after we get the post draw here. As you said, one of the more important ones that you can remember here recently with the way that things are stacking up. We got 2 hours down. We got 1 to go. Some baseball first pitches coming. We'll let you know how it all lines up.
Now there's a new way to take charge of your blood sugar. Introducing new Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula from the makers of the nation's best-selling garlic supplement. New Garlic helps maintain healthy blood sugar levels with clinically supported levels of garlic, plus a custom blend of vitamins and minerals, and it's odor-free. Take charge of your blood sugar with New Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Every 34 seconds, someone in America dies from heart disease. In that same time, you could be managing your heart health at home with Cardia Mobile, the #1 doctor-recommended personal EKG device that detects atrial fibrillation and other arrhythmias in just 30 seconds. Unlimited readings from anywhere at a surprisingly affordable price. Order now at Cardia, KARDIA.com or Amazon. Because when it comes to your heart,
From Feature Story News in New York, I'm Mitch McCann with the Week in Review. President Trump says he's under no pressure to end the war with Iran and that he doesn't want to rush peace talks. He's also ruled out using a nuclear weapon against Tehran, describing the idea as stupid. The US and Iran remain in a stalemate over the Strait of Hormuz, a critical waterway for oil and gas supplies. President Trump also said that the Israel-Lebanon ceasefire has been extended by 3 weeks. Simon Marks reports from Washington.
The headline, of course, is that the president has announced that the ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon is going to be extended for another 3 weeks. I think there's another important nugget, though, in what President Trump has announced. He says the United States is going to work with Lebanon in order to help it protect itself from Hezbollah. Now, what does that look like? And how do you explain that to your Make America Great Again, America First supporters in terms that are not going to lead them to worry that ground troops might get involved on the ground in Lebanon, that you might find yourself involved in nation building, that phrase that is polarizing for Republicans, particularly in the United States. So there are real questions there about what he means when he says the US is going to work with Lebanon in order to help it protect itself from Hezbollah.
It is claimed that the US is considering reviewing its support for Britain's claim to the Falkland Islands. John Beaver has more.
An internal Pentagon email has expressed frustration with NATO allies for their reluctance or outright refusal to host US aircraft conducting strikes against Iran. The claims come from an unnamed source talking to the Reuters news agency, who claims to have read the email. Options for punishment apparently include reviewing the US position on Britain's territorial claims to the Falkland Islands, as well as suspending Spain from NATO. The Spanish Prime Minister has been a vocal critic of the US war with Iran, calling for diplomacy and negotiation instead of a military operation.
And finally, the medical details of 500,000 members of a UK health data project have been found for sale online in China. They come from the Biobank database, which was set up in 2003 to gather anonymised data into diseases like cancer and dementia. Stuart Smith has more from London.
Earlier this week, the independent biobank charity alerted the government that 3 datasets, including one containing the medical details of all volunteers, was being sold online in China. Britain's Minister for Data said no names or contact details were uploaded, but the database would have contained the genetic, health and lifestyle data of 500,000 volunteers who had donated that information to help researchers around the world investigate the causes of disease.
From Feature Story News in New York, I'm Mitch McCann, and that was the Week in Review.
This is VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Ready, Set, Bet with Matt Brown and Mike Somich on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Ready, Set, Bet here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Matt Brown and Mike Somich as we watch really frisky Magic team here, 50-43, 4:26 left in the second quarter. Desmond Bane with 14 points already here for this Magic squad. Started shooting the 3-ball a little bit better as well. And Mike Somich opened up a 7-point lead here after being tied after the first quarter.
Yeah, we were joking. No one was making threes except for Bane. Suggs and Black both have hit one here, helped open up the Orlando lead. You've already got 7 turnovers from this Detroit team, 4 of those from Cade. Just not an efficient Detroit offensive game. It's a struggle that we saw in the first 2 games, and we're seeing Duren here again. We talked about him. He's been 20-10 all season long, just 4 points with 4 minutes and 26 seconds left here in the second quarter. So still a lot of the same problems we were seeing in Game 1 and the first half of Game 2 reappearing here in Game 3 for this Detroit offense.
Over in the draft, you mentioned at the top of the 4th round, Jermod McCoy finally comes off the board. Cornerback from Tennessee, widely regarded to be the second corner off of the board. Missed all of 2025. Everyone knew that. But then the reports came out in draft week that maybe that knee needs a little bit of a cleanup. And so with that, not only did he drop out of being the second corner taken in the draft, Mike, he dropped out of the first round, the second round, and the third round, all the way to the 4th round, lands with the Raiders. But as you said, if this is just a cleanup and it's not necessarily another surgery, Raiders aren't winning next year anyway. If you think you can get a first-round talent in the 4th round, I mean, this could end up being a steal. And if not, okay, it's a 4th rounder that busted. That's not the end of the world.
Yeah, I mean, you look at like Bell out of Georgia, who the Dolphins take after the ACL issue. You get him at a much cheaper cost in the draft because you are taking a chance with the injury. McCoy, same thing here for the Raiders, where it's these teams that like, hey, we're not winning next year. We can sit them for a year, and if they end up being a first-round talent, we wildly overachieved on this draft pick in our rebuilding process. I love the idea that the Raiders, they'll go out, take McCoy here. I think it's a great pick for them there. I love the Bell pick for the Dolphins, again, because you're just stashing these guys anyway. If you're going to stink this year, that's the type of team that you want to stash them on.
The 10th pick of the 4th round was Cade Klubnik to the New York Football Jets. And, of course, if you follow college football, you know Cade Klubnik, 5-star quarterback coming out of high school. Big hopes there at Clemson for him. Never really lived up to the hype coming out of high school. Up and down. There are games you could watch him, Mike, and think like, okay, now I see it. And then the other ones you go, this guy, how was this guy ever a 5-star? I mean, just look like completely clueless out there. Probably worth the Jets taking a gamble on him. I mean, you know, he's your prototypical 6'2", 210. You know, you got all of that stuff going on, big arm. Just decision-making sometimes not always there. And, you know, we'll see. It's a 4th-round pick.
Yeah, look, Klubnik and Aller, to me, are the 2 flyers that I would have been interested in later rounds here if I was drafting a quarterback, just because they have the physical tools and things just kind of didn't come together for them for one reason or another in college. I don't mind the Klubnik pick here. What do you make of this Jets draft overall? Lot going into this that they had 3 first-round picks, and they come out of that first round with Bailey at 2, which I think was the consensus 3rd or 4th best player in the draft. You end up with Sadiq in that 16th pick and then Cooper Jr. there in the 30th pick. Is this a good day or a bad day for the Jets?
I mean, look, I think the whole Bailey Reese thing, at the end of the day, I didn't get it. If you honestly think the higher ceiling, and this is not you and I talking, this is us listening to draft scouts and us listening to people who do this for a living, that the higher ceiling is Reese, it's kind of the same deal that we're talking about with the Raiders. You're not going to win next year anyway. You're the Jets. Like, I mean, you're not winning next year. So why would you take the guy that's older and maybe the floor is a little bit higher, but the ceiling is lower. If it takes 2 years for Reese to develop, who cares? That coaching staff's gonna be gone. Like, it's like they're not gonna be there anyway. Like, it's so I don't know. I didn't necessarily. It's not a bad pick, obviously. Bailey is awesome, but again, if you're in rebuild anyway, wouldn't you take the guy that has the higher ceiling? But that's neither here nor there for me. When you don't have I don't know what you do. I think the draft maybe works out if you're trying to stink again to get into next year, which seems to be the case for this team. And honestly, it's hard to blame them at this point. I mean, Mike, if we take a look at what is available next year, and yes, some of these guys will flop, but this is just kind of what we're starting with, and then we'll go from there. Arch Manning, Dante Moore, Julian Sayin, DJ Lagway, John Mateer, Lenora Sellers, CJ Carr, Jaden Mayava, Brendan Sorsby, Trinidad Chambliss, Sam Levitt. All at least will start the year with the potential to be first-round quarterbacks, and they will either play their way in or out and all of that. That's not even talking about the fact that you have Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Williams, and Cam Coleman as well, who are like top 10 wide receiver talent, might not be able to go in the top 10 because of all these quarterbacks that are going to be there. The Jets, I assume, were just like, okay, look, we're going to take some guys. They'll be good for next year. They'll be good for 3 years from now. We are hoping that we can get one of these 3 or 4 dudes that are very likely to be first rounders next year.
Yeah, I agree with the idea that you are drafting for next year. I hate the Sadiq pick at 16. I like this is I compare running backs and tight ends to be the cherry on top of the ice cream sundae or the candles on top of a cake. Like, you take those players in the first round when you are finishing your team, not when you are trying to build your team. Like, to not go O-line or D-line there, specifically offensive tackle when you're right in the middle of that run, made absolutely no sense to me. And then at 30, like, I don't know. I wouldn't have taken a wide receiver there either. Like, I did not like this Jets draft. And the 2-3 thing, like the Reese versus Bailey, whatever.
Right.
Like, that's your scouting department. Like, I don't think you can really nitpick there. I think 16 and 30 were terrible picks. And considering that you traded away real players, real assets to go and get 2 first rounders, and this is what you come back with, I think it was a rough first day there for this Jets team.
Down, and this isn't going to be a immediate impact thing or whatever, just an interesting pick, and then we'll move on here. The 36th pick in the 4th round went to the Saints, and it was a guy that I was hearing a lot of the draftniks out there at least talking about, that he was an interesting prospect. So this guy, Bryce Lance, wide receiver out of North Dakota State. He kind of burst onto the scene really at the combine for people who weren't following, FCS football. But a guy that's 6'3", 205 that ran a 4.34 at the combine, right? So you're talking about a big dude that can move. And there's all kinds of holes in his game. Apparently he body catches and all the different things of that or whatever, but like, you can't teach speed at 6'3", 205. And so a project receiver may be there for the Saints, but again, trying to kind of build towards the future. I think the Saints have kind of gone about this right, which is we're still not built to win next year, and so I think they are kind of thinking for 2 years from now, and I kind of like what they have done.
Bryce's claim to fame?
What's that?
That's Trey's brother. Trey Lance, the number 3 overall pick's younger brother, Bryce Lance there. So we'll see if the second Lance in the NFL able to have a little more success than his brother there coming out of North Dakota State. I like this Saints draft as well. I like the pick with Tyson at 8. I think a little fragile of an overall team on the offensive side, a little concerned around injuries, but at the same time, you like the talent acquisition that you're getting. And I think if you believe in Chuck, which clearly the Saints team does, and I think they should after what we saw down the stretch there, you want to give him weapons to find out, and you want to do it earlier in his career rather than later. So I like what the Saints did this year.
Yeah, me too. Listen, you add a defensive tackle in the 2nd round, you get you a tight end in the 3rd round. I mean, it's. I think that what they're doing, they took an offensive lineman that is a little battled some injuries, stuff like that in the 4th round, but again, could be some upside stuff. So interesting draft for them for sure. I think that the Saints are going about this the right way. We're not going to win a Super Bowl next year. We're not winning a Super Bowl next year.
We talk about the process of building a team and what is the way that you want to build that team. You once you have your quarterback, then you add weapons, right? Before you have your quarterback, you build inside out. You get the big guys, the offensive linemen, the defensive linemen, and then you start trying to basically mix the cake. I make the cake analogy. You got to get your eggs and you got to get your flour and your salt. You got to make the batter. Then you put the icing on. Then you throw the candles on top. A lot of teams put the candles on this cake before you even have the batter made, and the Saints are doing this the proper way.
We're about a minute away from halftime, 56-48 in favor of make that 59-48 in favor of the Magic over the Pistons. So, again, tied 26 after one, 33-22 here in the second quarter.
Yes, it's been a dominant second quarter for Orlando on both sides of it. They're playing better defense. You're seeing them be efficient on the offensive end as well. Bane leading the way, still 14 points, 4 for 4 from three-point range. You look over at this Pistons team right now. Cade Cunningham, just 8 points, 3 for 9 shooting in the first half. Duren now up to 6 points, so he's at least got 2 more here, but not getting much from the bench either. Just 10 points right now from this Pistons bench. So we'll see what has to happen here, but the turnover's been a big problem for the Pistons. They've now got 10 in this game compared to just 7 from Orlando. 3-point shooting been an issue. As you see, Orlando go 7 for 15. The Pistons just 5 for 14. So a lot of things need to change if the Pistons want to make a run here in the second half.
The Sox didn't stop scoring, 7-0 now over the Baltimore Orioles. You get a good start out of Garrett Crochet. He goes 6 strong, 3 hits, 2 walks, 7 Ks, 90 pitches, and he's out of there. Has given way to the bullpen. Now they have put a couple of Orioles on, the bullpen has, but Garrett Crochet, again, you like that. If you like the Red Sox, you like that. If you think this Red Sox team is one of the ones that could be in for some better times ahead, even if you weren't a fan of the Red Sox heading into this season, even if you didn't buy into what a lot of people did, Mike, you didn't think 9-17.
No, this is one of those teams that's really disappointed early on in the season. You got the Blue Jays there disappointing inside the same division as well. Nice to see Crochet get back. I know that you've got but do you have no, you're Baltimore. Mm-hmm. A lot of people have different division winning tickets in this one. A lot of people at Boston as one of those teams that could possibly win the division. Tough start for them, but a good day today to see Crochet pitch well and the offense get going.
We'll look at a couple of more MLB games, better two that I have in the account, including the Mariners here today. That's going to be first pitching in about 5 minutes. Really like them over St. Louis. Ready, set, bet here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text RULE to 215215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text RULE to 215215. That's RULE to 215215.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6781. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6781. That's 800-575-6781. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Here's a look at your weather forecast, powered by weatherology.com. Cloudy this afternoon with scattered thunderstorms likely. High of 63. Winds out of the northeast, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance for scattered thunderstorms tonight, lows around 43. 63 tomorrow, chance for scattered thunderstorms. Chance for scattered thunderstorms Monday, with a chance for scattered rain showers Tuesday, highs in the upper 50s. And that's your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Frobley.
Keep it here on Extreme Sports.
Hits it to right field. Brennan is back. He's at the wall, and we are tied.
Your all-access pass to nonstop sports talk and live play-by-play coverage.
You guys are the #1 sports station because you make the phones light up.
Welcome back to Ready, Set, Bet with Matt Brown and Mike Summage on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Ready, Set, Bet here on VSiN and Mike Summage. We have a very interesting basketball halftime here as it is 59-54. A late little run there by the Pistons gets this thing down to 5 at the half. We were at 11 when we went to break, so got to feel good if you're a Pistons backer here as they close strong, only lose the quarter by 5 points, and 59-54 as we head into the second.
Yeah, important little spurt there. And some life as well, as you had a little bit of a scuffle on the court between Wendell Clark Jr. and Asir Thompson, who kind of got into it a little bit. You like to see a little bit of life and the response there from Detroit. Paolo Banchero misses an open 3 to close the first half. Would have been able to push this out to 8. You still got the teams barking at each other on the court as well. So a lot of physicality in this one, Matt Brown. We'll see what happens here in the second half. Hopefully the Pistons can turn it around for me here. I got some Pistons futures. I liked them in today's game, so hopefully we can see them play a little bit better, specifically take care of the basketball a little bit better in the second half.
So I put a first 5 on the Mariners. I don't know if you can still get that, if it's still available out there or not. I like them full game as well. They got to hit a little bit better. Their pitching is just so incredibly good. You look at Woo's surface stats, Mike, and he's sitting with that 2.25 that's backed up by a 2.52. I mean, he has been that good. And if you want to nitpick, he doesn't strike out as much as maybe you would like from a front-end starter, but he also doesn't walk a ton of guys. I think that his command and everything he's doing is going to be enough for this St. Louis team that is finally starting to come back down to earth, where this is who they are. They're not very good, and they're not going to be very good. Their starter, Laboratory, he's got a 3.67, but it's backed up by like a 5.24 here over the last 3 starts. So I'm going to back the Mariners and hope that they can swing the bat a little bit better.
Yeah, these are two teams we expected different things from. Yeah. If you told me the Cardinals were the team with a winning record, I would have been very surprised. Don't mind the first 5 Mariners play there. Do want to do a little housekeeping here. Mm-hmm. We have a review and foul called on Isaiah Stewart here with 0.1 seconds left. That's his 3rd of the game. And I believe Orlando, now it was on the floor. I'm not sure if they're in the bonus. Yep, Orlando going to shoot 2. So Wendell Clark Jr. heading to the line here to try and extend this 5-point lead for Orlando heading into the half.
Kind of like the old in the NFL, the untimed down. Like we get the free throws here, and he makes both of them. So it's going to be a 7-point lead instead of a 5-point lead.
That matters, Matt.
Significant.
That's
yes.
Definitely not just the 2 points, but also the third foul there on Isaiah Stewart, who's been a big part of this Pistons team throughout the season.
They were able to make a 2-possession game, a 3-possession game right there with no time left on the clock. So 61-54 in favor of the Magic at the half. It is 4.5 on the live line in favor of Orlando. 218.5 is the total. If you think the Pistons come all the way back and win this thing, plus 165 out there on the money line.
Yeah, it's I might take a little Pistons to come back and win this thing. I still think they are just simply the better basketball team here, but they need to take care of the ball better. And offensively, like we talked about this, someone besides Cade needs to make a play because he's not playing well right now. 15 from Asir Thompson. He's 6 for 7 from the field. Cade Cunningham right now, just 3 for 10 at half, 1 for 4 from 3-point range, just 8 points. He does have 5 assists, but 5 turnovers to go with that as well. So not a clean Cade first half there.
Guys, if you've got a group chat full of hot takes, Cut was built for you. It's a social betting platform, lets you bet directly against your friends and other users on basically anything. You can go on sports, politics, pop culture, even personal bets. So go in No flaking, no excuses, because it's all pre-funded. So you go in right now, use the promo code VSIN, VSIN, when you download Cut, 20% deposit bonus on your first deposit. That is KUTT.com or KUTT from your app store of choice. Use the promo code VSIN, 20% deposit bonus on your first deposit. So, Mike, over in Major League Baseball, it's not until way later, but we do have Zach Wheeler's debut for the Phillies going up against the red-hot Atlanta Braves. And if you've been following the Wheeler stuff, guys, in the minors, it does not look good. The velocity is basically zapped coming back from this injury, Mike. And, it is only minus 125-ish out there right now in favor of Atlanta. I know Bryce Elder is not anything that you want to, run to the window to back, but we see these velocity drops, guys coming back from injury and stuff. Like we saw it with Spencer Strider. We see they get knocked around for a few starts, man. Until they figure out what to do to get these big league hitters out. He was getting knocked around in his rehab starts. So I can't even imagine what's going to happen here now that he comes back to the bigs.
It doesn't feel like the team you want to face in your first game back here in Atlanta, too, has been playing some very good baseball. Again, two teams that are completely different directions so far in the early part of the season here, with this Braves team sitting at 19-8, the best record in baseball, and the Phillies at 8-18. What about just the over 8.5, Matt? Yeah, what about just kind of I don't love Elder here, so if it's hard for me to want to run to the window to back the Braves, I would almost rather play the over 8.5 in this spot.
Yeah, you could do that. I mean, I guess it would just be, you still have to rely on the Phillies to swing the bat a little bit too, right? I mean, that's the other problem with this.
Point,
yeah,
right.
I mean, the problem I think that I have really with the Phillies in general is our concern heading into the season was health, by and large, healthy.
Yeah,
and not being able to perform. So that's kind of the deal for me, where I'm like, ugh, that's not good. Like if you were going on a skid. It was because 3 of your guys were out. I'd be like, well, I mean, that's what you're going to get with the Phillies. It's an old team. We kind of assumed that there was going to be a stretch where they were going to have to try to perform without 2 or 3 of their guys, but that hadn't been the case.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they did run into the Cubs in 7 of the last 10 games. The other 3 against the Braves. So they faced very hot teams at this stretch. Like the Cubs have won 10 in a row. The Braves obviously streaking with the best record in baseball. So not an easy stretch for the Phillies here. But you'd still would have thought a little bit more. I don't. When you look at this losing streak, they scored 7 against the Cubs 2 days ago. They put up 3 against the Braves yesterday. They scored 4 against the Cubs 4 days ago. So they're at least offenses showing some signs of life here. Early on in this losing stretch, you were seeing 0s, 1s, and 2s, which is not what you're looking for.
Yeah, you would think there would be some positive regression here. I mean, if you look over, okay, let's call it the last dozen games, right? And that includes this losing streak. They're only striking out 18% of the time. Now they're not walking. They're only walking 7% of the time. But it's not like it's this crazy astronomical 30% strikeout rate where these guys are not making contact at all. They're only striking out 18.5% of the time. They actually have one of the best hard hit percentages over the last 12 games of any team in Major League Baseball. So there's some unlucky stuff going on with the team as well. And so maybe they're what is their in-season win total? These are the things that I've got to be better about looking at, is more the long-term stuff for these teams that we think could have some sort of turnaround, because the in-season win totals, and they're not live right now, it doesn't look like, but oh no, they are live. That's where you could really figure out, some really good, some really good angles, I think, with all of this. Now the win totals are pulled for right now. They do have, how long will this losing streak last for the Phillies? 12 plus games is plus 225, 13 plus games is plus 550, and 14 plus games is 10-1.
Yeah, well, I mean, no, you don't love it, but we'll see. We'll see if how long this stretches out. I do like the over more than I like Philly today after looking through everything there. Do want to say we did just draw the Kentucky Oaks. So the Kentucky Oaks draw is official, meaning the 5-horse, who I expect to be the favorite there, does draw the 5-place Explorer. The 1-horse Explorer draws the 1-post, another one of your favorites. So the Kentucky Oaks draw has been official. Now just waiting on the Kentucky Derby draw to start, which is awfully interesting. because next segment, we're going to be joined by one of the owners of two of those horses in that draw, including Full Effort and Litmus Test, Danny Moses. So excited to have him possibly live on air here as his horses get drawn into the Kentucky Derby gate.
So, Mike, do you believe when it's all said and done, we're going to look up and then the Dodgers are just going to lead the majors in wins?
Yes, but I don't think it's going to be the way people expect. I mean,
because
I think they're going to win 90.
They're minus 210 to have the most wins, and the shortest shot past that. I mean, you go all the way to plus 550 with the Yankees. You can get if you don't think that this is smoke and mirrors with the Padres, 28-1. If you think this Cubs team just finally figured stuff out, it's 8-1 on them. There's some fat numbers on some teams out there to have the most wins. And I mean, I get it. The Dodgers are the Dodgers, but minus 210? I mean, that's insanity.
We both have under 104.5.
Yeah.
I think we both kind of agree on that front that to expect a number that's going to drop a little bit there. Look, plus 550 on the Yankees, plus 550 or more on anybody gets more enticing. I did not. Yeah. I expected it to be minus 105, minus 110 that the Dodgers would have the most wins based on the way this has started out. I agree they are the most likely to have the most wins. I'm not sure if they do it. That's an implied percentage of 66% of the time. That seems a little bit high.
I like the Cardinals at 22-1 to have the worst record. That team is not talented.
You could say most wins.
No, that team is not talented at all. And I mean, the favorite is the Rockies and Nationals. It should be, and the White Sox. But there is a world that exists where this Cardinals team is definitely the worst team in baseball. I might see if I can find that one somewhere around here. Kentucky Derby when we come back.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
Progressive knows you think the grass is always greener. Like maybe you ride a motorcycle. But today, it's raining. So you wish you had an RV. But if you did, you'd have to listen to some guy parked next to you at a campsite plays acoustic guitar. Now, before you start wishing you had a boat, remember, your brother-in-law would invite himself every weekend.
Permission to come aboard, Captain?
But one thing that is greener is the money you could save when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available.
5 Points Bank has been your hometown bank for over 40 years, and now you can take us wherever you go. Mobile Deposit allows you to deposit checks from your smartphone or tablet with our free business banking app. And never pay for an ATM charge again with our MoneyPass app. It maps out ATMs near you that won't charge a fee because of its partnership with 5 Points Bank. We're here to serve you in person and online, and that's why we're the better bank.
Since 1946, Cully Pipe and Steel continues to meet the pipe and steel needs of Greater Nebraska and Kansas. Cully Pipe and Steel is a one-stop shop for all of your pipe and steel needs. Cully Pipe and Steel stocks a wide variety of steel and plumbing products, from custom steel products to structural steel, rebar fabrication, steel fabrications, and retail and wholesale plumbing parts and fixtures. Remember, Cully Pipe and Steel of Hastings. They're located at 405 West South Street and the plumbing showroom at 300 South Colorado in Hastings. Stellig Law Firm of Grand Island is committed to assisting clients throughout Nebraska. Stellig Law Firm is a full-service law firm and specializes in estate planning, probate, and personal injury. Stellig Law Firm takes the time to listen and understand each client's personal needs. To schedule your individual appointment, call 308-675-4035. Stellig Law Firm is located at 724 West Koenig Street in Grand Island. A call today will secure your tomorrow.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
You're locked in to Extreme Sports.
Olivares now hits a line drive to deep left field. Ward is back to the wall. Granny time!
Here's Doncic wheeling inside in traffic and got it to go. Got it, the foul.
The home of 24/7 Sports Talk. Nothing but pure sports action.
When it comes to your business running efficiently day to day, you rely on technology and a network that is secure, fast, and has measures in place to help prevent downtime. At Hamilton Business Technologies, we know firsthand that reliability is business. We work with businesses across the state to implement managed IT solutions that keep your business running securely. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we're focused on providing custom solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Reliability is business. Hamilton is business. Connect with us today at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Welcome back to Ready, Set, Bet with Matt Brown and Mike Summage on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
$61-54 Magic over the Pistons at the half. Again, that had to have updated. It can't be 4.5 anymore after those phantom free throws there. It's actually people were taking the 4.5. It's 3.5, Mike Summers. So people do not believe in this Orlando Magic team.
There are signs to point that the Pistons could play a lot better, specifically Cade Cunningham in the second half. So I'm not shocked people are taking some of the points here, but they still need to clean it up. Like, just because we always talk regression happens, it doesn't mean it needs to happen right away. And that's going to be the big case here for the Pistons. Can they clean up that offense?
Into the eighth inning, 7-1 Red Sox over the Orioles, and runs galore over there in St. Louis. We're 2-2 in the first inning. Mariners and the Cardinals. Wu getting knocked around early there for the Mariners. Laborator gives up a couple in the top of the first. Now, while I cannot say for certain that we were the first show ever to have two different Haltermans on, I can say that we're the first show, at least in VSiN history, to have one of the owners of two of the horses live while the horses are being drawn right now, Mike Somich. And so welcome to the program, Danny Moses. Danny, appreciate the time, man.
Thanks to be here. If it's any indication, I'm not a large owner of the fact that I'm actually not at the draw, so I am part of the Starlight Racing Partnership. But let's not get carried away.
You had
percentage.
You've got full effort here, and you've got litmus test coming up in the Derby. We saw full effort draw the 20 when we were on break. Litmus test just drew the 4. So instant reaction here on the two horses of yours, litmus test in the 4 and full effort in the 20. How are you feeling about that draw?
I think it's great. I think litmus test is probably going to get out there early, just given the speed. He's actually training really well on the surface, and then full effort, as you know, can close. And so he's also, taking to the surface as well. So I think 20 is a great spot for him as well.
So as we were talking to Mike and Aaron, Halterman here, who've done a ton of great stuff for us, they were talking about that this one might have been one of the most important draws that they remember here over the last several years, given the fact that the way that the horses where they ended up was really going to be who they bet. I mean, I'm sure they have an idea who they wanted to bet, but needed to see where everybody saw it. Did you kind of feel that as well, that this was one of the more important draws in recent memory?
Yeah, they're always important, but when you look at Renegade, I believe just got the 1. That's probably not ideal. Everybody kind of wants, I think, to be in the middle unless you have a specific style like a closer. The fast horses you are going to go, you're probably best to just be on the inside and get out there early and try to hold. But just looking, and I just want to note that this is Starlight's 15th and 16th starters in the Derby since 2002. And the Into Mischief Colts, the grandsire was Harlan's Holiday, which was the original kind of takeoff moment for Starlight Racing in general. So there's a lot of different connections here going on.
Yeah, it's got to be exciting to have horses in this spot. As Matt mentioned, this I thought was a huge draw. You mentioned Renegade gets the 1. We just saw Further Ado get the 18. Chief Wallaby, another favorite, in the 6, and in the 12. The Puma draws the 9. Commandment the 6. So those are your 5 kind of top choices there. I do want to focus in on full effort. I was excited to see your name on the rundown today because this is a horse that I've really started to warm up to over the last couple of weeks in doing my research. I'm generally not a synthetic to dirt guy. And we saw full effort run in the Battaglia, then the Jeff Ruby Stakes to kind of set himself up for this. Last year, the 4th place finisher in the Derby came from that route. Full effort has a huge late kick. You should have pace in this one. What's your expectation when Full Effort takes on the dirt here for the first time? The breeding looks solid. Is there a belief that this transition is going to be pretty easy for him?
I mean, it's never that easy, but you think about, just like you said, his sires and so forth, taking to this surface, we'll see what happens. So everyone's wondering, can he run on the dirt? Obviously, he's in a great spot to come. We know he's a closer. His times have been really good. So you're looking, obviously, at the training going on. And he's hit the board. He's 7 for 7 since July of last year of hitting the board. So I think he's going to be there. Whether he can win this thing or not, he's in a great spot, certainly, to hit the board, I believe. So he's got everything going for him at this point, and he's probably training the best that he has, in the last several weeks. So,
Danny, just one more
situation.
Just one more for me, and then I'll let Mike take over here. Let's just pretend that you were a complete just a bystander on this, didn't have any stake in anything. Which horse have you liked the best as you watched all these horses get ready and qualify? Which horse were you kind of like, that might be the one?
Well, I like Renegade, but I wasn't going to like its price. We'll see where it goes now. If you look at the Brad Cox trifecta, Further Ado, Commandment. Obviously, my name's Moses, so I like that one. And Full Effort. You can throw those ones in there, but I can't get away from the Puma. Everything about the Puma, the Mage connections, everything, how his training going on. I really like that horse, and if that comes at the right price there, I think that's a dangerous horse there. So it is a little top heavy, though. It's hard to get past kind of the first 7 or 8 horses that I'm kind of looking at. You just mentioned some of them, obviously. Beyond that, and Litmus Test, is interesting because the blinders are coming back. Kind of was all over the place in the Arkansas Derby. We know he can run. Can he run the distance? Don't know. But we'll see. And there's some other interesting ones out there. Seth Klarman's horse is interesting out there. I think has actually run closest to the distance of 1 3/16. So I believe that's the closest we've seen to a quarter emerging market. So it's really going to be a fun race. And a couple of these horses are Belmont or ones that pulled out might go to Preakness, but there's some interesting ones for Belmont. And I would say that Puma obviously is an early favorite for the Belmont, not to jump ahead, but that's the stuff I kind of think about is how you judge these horses off the first leg of the Triple Crown and what it means for the next 2.
Yeah, it's always an interesting series because you have to understand what the progression is going to be like. And okay, are we going to skip the Preakness? Are we going to go to the Belmont? What breeding sets you up well to be able to go to the Belmont? Before I jump into more specific race questions, I do want to ask you about having a piece of Litmus Test specifically, who was 21 on the list. We had a scratch that allowed him to draw into the main field. What were the emotions like knowing you were on the outside looking in and then realizing, the night before morning of the draw that you're going to be able to get into the main field and have a second horse here in the Derby?
Yeah, I was talking to the main partners, Jack Wolf and Corbin Blumberg, who obviously works for Starlight and at Starlight as a partner as well. And you think about the irony last year, let's not forget that Rodriguez, during the beginning of the week for the Derby, one of Starlight's horses looked like he certainly was going to be one of the favorites and was scratched. And so the irony here is not lost that kind of flip the script here. And so certainly really exciting to have Litmus Test in there. It's always when you least expect it. But I would say over the last couple of days, it became evident some of the horses that did not ship, you have to be there by today, or kind of heard rumors. And I think he was 4 deep at one point, and then he was on deck last night. So I think by last night, I think the team realized that Litmus Test was going to get in there.
Now, you mentioned Litmus Test and kind of switching around some of the having blinkers certain races, not others, and trying to figure out what equipment exactly going to work best for him in these races. We've got Chief Wallaby, who is one of your contenders, draws the 12 in the Kentucky Derby. A lot has been made over the last week or so that he is going to add blinkers for this Kentucky Derby. What are your quick thoughts on Chief Wallaby? And then overall, we've seen this move, adding blinkers, be unsuccessful in the Derby. Do you think that that's a reason to get off the horse if you happen to like Chief Wallaby heading into the race?
I mean, my thing, I'm trying to, I want to take him for something, and then 3 career starts, it's just kind of hard, kind of unproven. And so I'm going to stay away from him. Junior Alvarado, I think, was the one that recommended put the blinkers back on the horse. And so we'll see. I just can't get there on that horse. But, this is wide open. Obviously, 20 horses, anything can happen. But I had to start kind of eliminating. And that was one of the first ones kind of that I liked, that I kind of started to, I never cross it off because I'm superstitious. Anytime you cross anything off in any type of program, never do that, obviously. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's always funny when you're trying to go through these Derby fields and figure out who are you going to end up using. And I love betting the superfecta. Who kind of qualifies for that 3rd and 4th spot as you go through it. One thing I think has been awfully interesting is these international horses being injected into the Derby, and we've seen them really put some speed into the pace as well. We've got 3 international horses coming back in this year, 2 from Japan, 1 from the Middle East. What's your take here on what they are going to do to the pace, especially with litmus test now drawing in? Do you think this is going to be a quick pace in the Derby, or is it going to be a little bit slower up front?
I actually think it's going to be quicker now than people thought. And let's just assume it's not going to rain, because that changes obviously everything. Certain horses, Full Effort, I would note, would do even better potentially the rain. So we're probably going to do a little rain dance out there, so Full Effort. But it's always hard to tell with the horses that ship in, because a lot of them don't come to the U.S. until a week or 2 before, 3 weeks before. It's just hard how they're going to acclimate. Japanese horses have fared well, or better, I should say, over the last few years. So every one of these horses is certainly has a shot at it. But I'm probably the wrong guy. I can go a little deep, but I can't go that deep on it. But yeah, it should be interesting. I will note that I always like to look at horses that have run on the track. And I think Further Ado won at Churchill as a 2-year-old. And I just think if you're an athlete, some ball players like to hit in certain parks. Some are familiar with it. I think that's a big deal too. So when you're talking about kind of obviously full effort, litmus test. And then I mentioned kind of the Brad Cox trifecta, which obviously includes Full Effort. Who else you kind of throw in there? You can't ignore Renegade in the superfecta. I don't care what slot he's going to come out at, right? And I really like, as part of that trifecta, if you get the right price on Commandment with Brad Cox, I really like that horse. I think that's the sneaky one. I think that's the one that could really get the price.
He is Danny Moses, Danny Moses Show at DMoses34 over the Twitter machine. Appreciate the time and good luck, my man.
Lowe's has the brand's pros trust to get the job done. You can now shop new Catalyst fencing solutions and save big when you do. 10% off when you buy in bulk. Plus, save $180 on a DeWalt 12-inch dual bevel sliding compound miter saw. Now just $449. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 5/6 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Here's a look at your weather forecast, powered by weatherology.com. Cloudy this afternoon with scattered thunderstorms likely. High of 63. Winds out of the northeast, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance for scattered thunderstorms tonight, lows around 43. 63 tomorrow, chance for scattered thunderstorms. Chance for scattered thunderstorms Monday with a chance for scattered rain showers Tuesday. Highs in the upper 50s. And that's your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Frombley.
Looking for the place in Hastings where people go for great food and good times? Head to Bullseye's Sports Bar and Grill. For more than 25 years, Bullseye's has been a Hastings institution, the spot where friends gather, games are watched, and memories are made. And every night of the week brings a can't-miss special. Tuesday features the pork ribeye. Wednesday is legendary wing night, crispy, saucy, and downright delicious. Thursday is the chicken buffet. Come hungry. Friday is pick your protein with your entree cooked to order plus all you can eat sides and the salad bar. And Saturday wraps it up with